Ah, we're back. We're back. Feels good. It always feels good. I will say right now, I'm sorry, I didn't FF11 any since the last stream. And that's just because other things in life, and also the wife really has, like, it's funny. I introduced her to Elder Scrolls Online because I thought, oh, she might like it. She's an Elder Scrolls fan, right? And I thought, oh, she might like it. She might play it a little bit, right? And she's a hardcore gamer on that now, all right? She's more hardcore than me. So, like, now she's kind of dragged me along on that. So that's a reason I haven't been as active, so I'm very sorry, but, you know, life and wife come first. And hey there, Thumber, hey there. Welcome back to the wonderful world of Final Fantasy. We're here again. We're gonna rant about whatever, though, because like last time, I still need to kind of refamiliarize myself, get back in the groove. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take quite a while for me to get there. But last time I oh, I know. Blame the wife. Oh no. I love playing games with her though. It's fun. And also, like, the thing is, we're both big, huge nerds. I would love if I could get her into something like this, but she's a little more new school of a gamer, so she doesn't really like a slow game like this, and she can't play turn-based games either. So she's very action-focused. So I can't get her into this, but you know, I like to play games with her, you know, that I can also agree with. And like when my wife, when she plays a game, all right, she doesn't just play it. She can't casual mode a game. Like, see me, I'm actually, even with this, I'm fairly casual, right? Like I'm a filthy casual. But no, when she plays games, she has to go hardcore with it. Like in Elder Scrolls Online, she's higher level than me. She's got better. She's further with the crafting stuff than I am. Her character is so tricked out that, like, we dueled, right? Because, like, I have a pretty strong character, so I'm like, hey, let's duel, because there was a challenge for it. And no, she floored me. She fucking floored me. Like, I couldn't comprehend what was happening. So yeah, no, I'm the filthy casual in the relationship there. Again, I feel like if she could get into a game like this, she would probably be like, you know, one of those billionaire, you know, billions of gil, right? Billions of gil, 75 everything, but it's just not her type of game. But yeah, it's I like that we're both big, huge nerds in our own ways. I like that. It's a good relationship there. But okay. So with this, last time around I switched over to Windurst because, you know, I'm like, hey, let's go for that Akaton, right? And also, hey, I would like to see the storylines of Windurst, and I never finished the storyline of Bestock back in the day. I think I never got past rank 3. Like, I know, I'd never seen the Shadow Lord fight back in the day. So yeah, just one of those bucket list things. Let's get that in there. So let me see, what have I started? Well, right now I'm on White Mage, Black Mage. Oh right, I'm on that right now because I wanted to get more outposts. I had a bit of a goal that I wanted to, since we're in a new nation, I wanted to fill out the outposts so getting around would be a little easier, you know? And going White Mage, Black Mage is a really good way to hit the outposts quickly and safely. Did I have, let me check something. Did I take the supply quest for the next thing? Because I missed it. I missed any... Alright, so I don't think I have any supplies on me, right? Yeah, no supplies. That's good. That's good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't have old supplies on me. But let's take a look at the conquest before we get into like Windurst missions and stuff. Let's take a look at conquest. So, all right, region conquest. So Saruta Baruta. I'm trying to remember. We did get that last time. I'm pretty sure. I think last time Saruta Baruta was open, I think, and so was the Ronfar, which, hey, we still got the Ronfar. But we don't have Gustaberg. So that one, I guess if I want to get to Bastok, I'm gonna have to take the airship. Either airship or teleport Dem. Okay, Araganu, that's open. I think that was open the last time I checked too. Lita Lore, that's a good one to have for way later. Like when I'm leveling up something around 50-ish, that's a good one to have. The lowlands and the uplands. But I think that was I think that was open last time too. I think I got that last time. We'll double check, but wow, Winder still has Tavnasia. God damn. So I don't think there's actually that many new ones to get. Like I don't think there might not be any. I think Araganu and Lita Lore are the only new ones that I can get. I mean, I think the real answer here is I need to I guess I need to work my way up to rank 3 with Windurst so that I can get access to the teleport goblins in Juno. I think that's what I gotta do, right? So if I can home point in Juno, like, you got all the airships going to everywhere, so that'll fill in a lot of gaps. It's an easy place to do your business, change classes, whatever, quick and easy. Chocobos can get you to most places from Juno pretty quickly. Like, I think if we can get rank 3 and we can get to Juno, that'll be good enough for having like quick and easy travel methods. But let me just check real quick what I have at the teleport guy. And I still have to get more familiar with Windurst as a town. But I have made a little progress in knowing like where the teleport guy is, where how to get around a little quicker. All right, so we got Ronfar, Faragandi, Saruta Baruta. Okay, Tavnasia. We have both Elshimos, so we don't have Araganu and we don't have Lita Lore, and those are both very good ones for different reasons. Like Araganu, there's a good EXP camp right next to the outpost there. I think it's like level 20 to, I think 25 is maybe as high as you want to go with that. But it's a good camp. So I'd want that, and I think even more important than that would be Lita Lore. Lita Lore is great for mid-40s all the way up to like 60. It's a great spot for just solo XP and group XP too. Groups go there as well. So first off, we gotta chart a course. So I guess let's see which one is the quickest one to get to. So as a white mage, I can teleport myself to Kolshushu. Like I can teleport there, I can take a chocobo from there, and then I can ride that up to Lita Lore. Araganu is along the way, if I recall. Yeah, you have to go through the Marifetad Mountains, and you take an east there, and that'll take you into Lita Lore, if I remember correctly. So it would make sense to get the Araganu outpost first, and then come back, like outpost there to get to Lita Lore. That would kind of make the most sense, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll take Oregonu first. We are gonna try and do some actual like missions and maybe switch down to a fresh class and kind of get back into the grind. But I think getting these teleports is a good idea. And since my playing is inconsistent, I want to get these things while they're up to get. You know, I don't want to stall on it, because if I stall, I might miss it. So first off, cast Signet on me. Why not? How long does the Windurst Signet last for me? So 2 hours. So it's 3 hours. Okay. Not the best Signet. I'm so used to my rank 10 Sandorian Signet. I'm so used to that. God, I miss being rank 10. See, I feel like I felt immediate regret when I switched over to Windurst. I mean, A, because Windurst, but B, because I was rank 10 with Sandoria. I was on top of the world. I had that super long Signet that, you know, I could let go for days, right? I had all the outposts. I was king of the world. And now I'm just a rando adventurer in Windurst again. But I want that Akaton. I don't need it, but I want it. I like having these goals to shoot for. So okay, I want to spend my I don't want to spend my conquest points. Although I do wonder if Windurst has some goodies that I might want as I rank up. Like the conquest stuff ain't bad. Sandoria has some really good conquest items, like in the higher levels that you can wear. Bestock, I mean, the scythe that I use is a Bestock one. When I switch over to Bestock, it'll make my scythe a lot better. It'll give me way more accuracy. So I do wonder. I think Windurst is more caster. Like I think they're more caster type of gear, right? So there might be some goodies I want from them as I rank up. So I'll hold on to my points. All right, but for now I want to go on a supply quest. All right, yeah. So let's go for Oregonu first. Okay, now quickest way to get this one done. Quickest way, I think. Let's teleport Mia, which I'm trying to remember. Dem is Bestock, Hala's Sandoria. Yeah, Mia is the one that's close to here. So we'll teleport there, grab a chicken, take it to Oregonu, and get that supply quest pounded out. Then we warp back here, take on the next one. I got a plan, and I'll try to execute that plan a little quicker than last time. Once I do that, I'm thinking, yeah, let's work on those missions, right? Let's do some windy missions, and maybe switch down to a lower job, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh hey, it's wind weather here. So you know, before I kind of took that break, I was trying to level my crafting up. Like, look at this. I had 22 alchemy, 60 cooking. That's my highest. I mean, fishing is my highest, but I mean, that's not a real thing. But my highest trade skill was bonecraft. Yeah, bonecraft was my highest, and then alchemy, and then I did a little woodworking and smithing and goldsmithing. I was trying to get more into the crafting and also gathering part of the game. I discovered gathering was actually pretty good, and like leveling up woodworking to complement gathering, it was a good idea. I need to get back to all that. Which means I might want to get some crystals, but let's not get so distracted, right? Let's not get distracted hunting after elementals. We're here to spend almost 1,000 gil on a chicken, and to get some outposts filled in. All right, let's do that. Okay. And hey there, Vexes. Yeah, we're back again. I am gonna try to get back in the habit of FF11. Like, ESO is time consuming with the wife, but like, and it's hard to give energy to like really getting deep into another game on top of that. But I want to try and get back into FF11. I really, really do. It's just kind of, you gotta get familiar again. You gotta build back into it, you know. So I think getting my Windurst outposts and then starting up on their missions, that's a good way to get comfy again. I mean, I know I was leveling Black Mage and all that, but that's not hard. Like leveling up Black Mage is not a terribly difficult task in this game. There's so many burn parties out there of many types. There's the ones I don't like to do, like the pet burns. That's not fun to me, but even without pet burns, just a normal Black Mage burn party, you just shoot up in levels. And it's pretty laid back, so I don't have to stress about leveling Black Mage. White Mage, though, funny enough, White Mage is kind of hard to level. It's so weird in the early levels. In the early levels, everybody wants a White Mage. You know, you get an invite the moment you log in. But as you get higher level, White Mage just sort of fades in importance, which is unfortunate. At least as far as grind groups are concerned. I'm sure for like missions and like the real hard stuff, you want a proper White Mage, I'm sure, but EXP parties not so much. Alright, so we're in Aragonu. I just had to check and make sure we are in Aragonu. So I can dismount. And this is a nice easy one. This is an easy get right here. Okay. Now, to get to Lita Lore, the Sanctuary of Zeta is where you want to go. The question is, money is not an option, but like, time-wise, I gotta consider, is it quicker to, like, okay, I'm gonna warp back to town either way, but I wonder if it'll be quicker to teleport teleport Mia. You know, basically get a chocobo and ride up along here and go out that way. Or if it'd be quicker to take the outpost here and then walk. Then again, I think for this one you actually have to go to the outpost. I don't think there's an NPC that I can talk to immediately in the sanctuary. So since I'd have to actually, like, travel around, probably it would be better to get a chocobo for this one. Probably for the best. Oh, got some enhancing magic. Trying to chart my course nice and good. Alright, and also, did I actually take the first Windurst mission? Like, did I? No, I did not. So, okay, yeah, when we're done with this, I have to look up, like, I don't know what to do for the first Windurst mission. I mean, I assume I just talk to a gate guard. I would assume. But beyond that, I don't really know what we'll be doing. Oh, no, this is the teleport man. I have to talk to a Signet NPC first. I'm jumping the gun on that one. Also, I see lots of people, you know, looking for members, looking for groups. There's stuff going on even this here morning. It's always usually a little, like when I first start playing in the morning, it's always usually very quiet, and that's because, you know, 10 in the morning for me is very, very early for the North America crowd, which is, I think, still the majority of the players on the server. Alright, so let's see, I need this one. I think the other NPC, I think they'll be my mission guide, but this is what I want for supplies. Yeah, here we go. It is kind of fun though, just feeling a little lost again, you know? Like, I'm having to feel my way through things again. It's that similar feeling to when I first started playing on Horizon, when I hadn't really properly played FF11 in years, you know, like not properly. So yeah, it's not that intense. I do still, I'm not like an amnesiac. I do still kind of remember a lot. You know, it's not all gone from my head, but things are much less familiar, and that's a good feeling. I like that feeling of not having super familiarity. I think I've said it before, but this is why I'm not like an end game focused MMO player, which I know is so weird to a lot of people. But it's because when I get super familiar with a game, and I'm on the top of the world, right? And it's like, that's when my interest in a game tends to start dipping. Like, not in a bad way. It's not like, oh, the game's fault or anything. But it's just like, that's when I want that new challenge. I want that feeling of being unfamiliar and lost in the woods again. I want to explore a new world, right? So, for someone like me who does like I love FF11, right? I think it's best to take those breaks. You know, it might, like, I know it probably sucks for anyone like just following along, but I think it's important for me to take those breaks so that I can always come back refreshed, and I don't hit that boredom wall. It's good for me. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and teleport back to Nia again, and now let's go back to where we went before, but now let's continue and shoot on to the northeast and get into Litalor territory. I really wish Windurst had, like, you know, Kufum Island or Zulkheim. Those are kind of the ones that I always like to have more than anything else, because Zulkheim, that's Valkurm Dunes territory right there, and you know, that's an important one if you want to level something up in the dunes, right? And the dunes is quite a level range too. That's your jump start into party content right there. And the same goes for Kufum Island. That, and also the Kufum Island is a good it's a good outpost to have just to get to Juno quickly and easily. I know I have the airship pass still, but who wants to wait for the airship? Who wants to do that? Look, parties have formed and died in the time it takes an airship to get from city to city. So I like having those outposts open. Those are like my two big ones. It's fine that I don't have them. I have other methods to get around. It's just, you know, it's been so long since I haven't had those outposts. But I think having having El Shimo both low and up, that's a real nice one right there. That'll cut down on a lot of time, like especially if I need to get around to Norg, right? Though I don't think there's anything I need in Norg anymore, right? Unless I start playing Samurai again. I did kinda actually want to try out Samurai and see how that works. Mainly for roleplay reasons, because come on, right? Like, I'm a blue-haired protagonist, I gotta have a samurai sword, but... But other than that, I don't think there's really much reason for me to go to Norg, right? I mean, quests, right? Quests. And fishing, actually. Yeah, the fishing spot in oh god, I forget what the caves are even called, but those caves near Norg. Well, Norg isn't a cave, but it's really good fishing for my skill level, and yeah, having the El Shimo outpost that's a great help to get back there. So that's a reason I'd want to go around Norg. Yeah, Sea Serpent Grotto. I had forgotten the name. The name escaped me, but yeah, Sea Serpent Grotto. And hey there, Varian. Oh god, I have to kind of remember a lot of things like that. Again, I'm not total amnesia. I haven't been like, you know, Men in Black flashy thinged, right? But yeah, a lot of the stuff I was very familiar with, is kind of blanking on me. And I need to check my map even more frequently. So okay, I gotta go north, hit that ridge, and then just northeast, and that'll get me where I want to go. But I think like the major reason that I would go to Norg, other than fishing stuff, was oh god, it was two things. It was ninja stuff, right? But I already got ninja up to 37. I have no intention of taking it any higher in the immediate future. So that's done. Yeah, I don't actively play Samurai right now. Oh, look at this! Oh, an EXP party. Now here's the question, do I want to take that on? Like, I'm still getting familiar with the game again. Oh, do I want to be the healer? Do I want to be the healer right now? That is a good question. I mean, I don't know. White mage ain't that hard. What's the worst that could happen being the healer? What's the worst that could happen? What level am I actually? I'm level 61. Sure, why not? Yeah, sure. Sure. Again, I have my reservations. Part of me really thinks it's a bad idea. Oh, look, there we go. There we go. Oh, okay. Whew, dodged a bullet. Dodged a bullet. Though, man, I guess they just sort of shot, I guess they shot tells out to a bunch of people in a short amount of time. But yeah. I would have been up to do it, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I have to refamiliarize myself with my macros, right? And as a healer, I feel like that could, look, I don't want blood on my hands, okay? And I feel like that's what would happen. I mean, look, it ain't that complicated as a white mage. Like, let's see, I'm on like bar 4 right now. That's all of my buffs, right? That's my buffs, that's my equipment sets, and then 5, that's my, yeah, that is my white mage / summoner hotbar. Got all the heals on the second bar, damage and debuffs on the first bar. It ain't that hard. It ain't that hard to figure out. I guess I'd be alright. I'd be alright in a party. But that isn't really what I wanted to do today. What I wanted to do is get this last outpost that I can get, and then start my Windurst missions. That's what I'd wanted to do. And maybe, since people might keep shooting me tells, maybe I should switch to a different class than white mage. might be a good idea. I feel like random tells out of nowhere is gonna be a common occurrence as a white mage. I mean, to be fair, it's like, oh yeah, true, I could go Anon. Yeah, that is probably better for right now. I always forget that /Anon is a thing. I always forget. but it's not just like when I play White Mage. I've had times playing every single class so far that I've leveled up where I've gotten random tells out of nowhere asking me to join a party. I guess especially Black Mage, right? Because I guess lots of Black Mages might be around but not flagged up, but if you're putting a burn party together, you need a lot of Black Mages, so... Yeah, I guess I've never really played a class that hard that just gets tons of invites. I would like to maybe go Bard again, but I'm kind of holding out. I'm kind of holding out for Corsair, and to have that be like my party support class. Although I am kind of considering leveling Bard up to like leveling it up to 37 to use as a sub job. I feel like there's a couple classes that I play where in certain situations going /Bard would be really good. So I might want to at least level it up that far. Like I was thinking about, say, Summoner, right? Which I know I kind of stopped playing Summoner, but I actually would kind of like to pick Summoner up again because I do enjoy it, and I did go out of my way to get all the avatars, except I guess Diabolos is the only one I don't have. But I got Fenrir, so yeah, I might want to take that higher. And I was just thinking like /Bard might, like for the extra, for that 1 point of extra MP regeneration from the Bard song, that might be worth it. I mean, honestly, I don't really do a whole lot with my sub job as a summoner anyway, right? Like no matter what the sub job is, I don't really do much with it. And yeah, like for a mana burn too. Like as a Black Mage, like I don't really make use of my sub job no matter what it is in a Black Mage burn party. For a while, I had some good use out of /Ninja, you know, to kind of take a couple of hits, right? But as I get higher and higher level, I find it's less necessary. Like, I have other ways with just Black Mage alone and proper defensive gear. I don't need that /Ninja. But, yeah, like, I've tried /Red Mage, you know, for the slightly faster cast time. I've tried /Summoner for extra MP. I mean, /Bard, I guess, would have /Bard would have the same effect, honestly. But I think /Bard, yeah, that might be a little more supportive to the party than /Summoner. Also, sorry, I'm getting the coughing fit. Ugh. Oh wait, hold up. I just toggled walk too. Right, it's the same key. My mute is the same key as walk. Okay. But yeah, I get that dry mouth and throat a lot now because of the old ADHD meds. So I need to hydrate more. B, if I start croaking up, it's like, okay, time for a cough break. And yeah, that is a reason I like /Red Mage. I found the very slightly faster cast time to make it a lot more comfy for, you know, like let's say, look, Black Mage burns, they can get a little boring, right? So I would often find myself, and look, you can't tell me, anybody who's been in a lot of Black Mage burns, you know, just come clean and admit it, like, it's slow and methodical leveling, and it's very dependable, and because of that, like, half the time, I am casually watching something on Netflix or whatever while I'm in the party. Like, literally, I just listen for the ping of, hey, thing is here. You know, I listen for the ping, then I get up and start casting, and then the thing's dead and I sit down again, and then, you know, back to watching something, right? Like, look, just come clean. I think everyone does it at least a little, if you're in that kind of party. So, so like when you're, like, let's say when you're a little inattentive, having just a little more buffer on your, you know, like getting that cast in to burst, right? Like it is handy. It's very handy, I'll admit. Yeah, see, look, some people will get on you about that sort of thing. It depends on what you're doing, right? If you're in a high-stakes party, and also let me dismount and get this. If you're in a very high-stakes party, I focus my attention more, obviously. But something like a Black Mage Burn or whatever, it's slow and boring. Like, it's very low stakes. And, you know, not being fully attentive, it's just par for the course. It is what it is. It's like when I'm, honestly, it's like when I'm fishing and I'm not streaming, right? Like, if I'm not doing the stream and I'm fishing in the game, yeah, it's the same deal. Like, I'm only half attentive, right? And that's normal. That is normal. Don't let anyone say otherwise. Okay, so I got my outposts. I got them. So now let me warp on back. I really should make macros for these warps, but I don't know. I don't warp and teleport that often, so I don't feel the need to have it on, you know, on command. Like, I'm gonna be honest though, one of the things that I like about this game is that, unless you're doing like super high stakes content, right, you can afford to be kinda half there. And honestly, I like that. I like that I have a game I can play and I enjoy it and it's fun and I can make progress with it. And I don't have to 100% have my hands glued to the keyboard and mouse and be, you know, mashing out buttons and being on full alert, right? Like, it's nice to have a game you can just chill with. I like that. Like, to compare it to other game that I'm playing a lot of, you know, ESO, you know, you can't do that with that. Like, it's an action game. It's an action RPG. If you're not pushing buttons like, oh, you failed to dodge roll, you're dead now, right? Or, oh, you didn't do enough damage, so, you know, yeah, the boss just kills you. It's... Or if you're the healer in a group, right? Like, oh yeah, the tank had full health. No, he's dead 2 seconds later. Like that, you can't kind of hands off with it. So I appreciate a game where I can. And I know that sounds... It sounds bad, but to me it's not. It's a good thing. But I don't want to take that to its extreme, right? Which the extreme of that would be, I've seen games that literally just call themselves AFK games, right? Like, you know what I mean? Games that literally play themselves and you barely have to give any input at all. Funny enough, I'm not a fan of that. A, because most of them are just bad. Like, they're just bad games. But B, because I want to play the game, it's just I don't want to have to be at full alert, like, I don't want to have to play it 200% all the time, right? I like having some downtime, you know, some time to relax. That's good for me. But I don't just want the game to play itself. That's a very different thing. Oh hey, Eco Warrior. Oh man. Right, I could do my weekly Eco Warrior. It is that time, but yeah, I wanted to do Winder stuff. I'm gonna stick to my plan of Winder stuff. Oh, getting the coffin thing again. Ooh, man. Medication that dries your throat out. It sucks. But yeah, I mean, like, okay, I don't think I've done any what you would call like the high-end end game, high-stakes stuff. But I mean, I've done a lot of missions where things can go really wrong really fast. Like, you know, I did the Prometheans to get into Tavnasia. You know, I've done a lot of a lot of the missions associated with Promathia. I've done that. You know, my nation missions, my, like, you know, rank 10 Sandoria, and there's some hard stuff in there. I did the Zalart stuff to get into, you know, into Sky, right? And there are hard fights, but even then, like, yeah, depending on your role in a fight might literally just be to sit back and, like, cast sleep, or you know, sit back and throw cures out or whatever, right? Like, depending on your role, yeah, you might be able to chill even when it's a very high stakes situation, and I like that. I know that there are Final Fantasy XI players that are like, no, you have to be, you gotta be on 11 at all times, right? They no slackers, but like, but honestly, depending on your role, it doesn't matter as much as a lot of people think it does. Or rather, I find that what it often is that if you, like, you know, if you're bringing your A+ game, it can help. If things go wrong, it's better, of course. And you can, like, you can get things done a little quicker, maybe. It's helpful, but, like, in terms of getting thing done, it often doesn't matter. Like, as long as you have the prerequisite bodies, and people at least know how to play the game, and they know what they're supposed to do, right? That's usually all that really matters. Like, you need bodies that know what they're doing, and you need some coordination. But beyond that, like, it's all cherries on top of the delicious ice cream sundae, you know? And I know many people will fight on that, but that's been my experience with the game, and that's a good thing. That's what I want. Like, if I really want to go nuts, you know, if I want to get balls deep in there, then I can, and my efforts will be rewarded, you know, like, I'll see something out of that. But if I just want to chill, that works too. And I like that. Yeah, no, like, so here's the thing, and look, we'll get to this mission in a second, but, like, I gotta get this out. I have played, like other games, right? Like, back in the day, I never got into raiding in, like, EverQuest, but I played EverQuest 2 a lot, and I did get into, like, the raiding scene with a guild in that, and it was so, like, it was so boringly no nonsense, right? It was basically like you hop in. I think back then it was like, oh god, what did we use for voice chat? It was like Ventrilo, right? We'd get in the Ventrilo server, and like, if anybody said anything, like, it's like, okay, like, raid leader, you know, guild leader / raid leader is like, okay, everybody gather up here, and then, like, if anybody just bantered, you know, like, they just talked a little bit, like, hey, you know, just say hey to your fellow guildie. It's like, hey, be quiet, all right, this is serious. We gotta, you know, like, the only one talking is me. That's for raid coordination. And it's like, I come on, man. Like, and the thing is, raids in EverQuest 2, they're not even, like, they're not that hard. They're really not. They're basically just Zerg fests, right? It's, you throw a ton of bodies at the big boss, and it dies. It's really not like, there's no mechanics. It's tank and spank. It's not that hard. But people would take it so seriously, and, like, raids in EverQuest could go on, like in EverQuest 2, they could go on for quite a while. Like, a raid was generally a multi-hour affair. And imagine for multiple hours just sitting there in silence, being bossed around. It wasn't great. It wasn't fun. But that's how a lot of people play MMOs, and that's like that's the level of seriousness they take it. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say that's wrong, but for me that's just it's stressful and it's boring. Like, that's a bad mix, right? I can take stressful as long as I'm having fun, and I can take boring as long as it's not stressful, right? But you put those two together, and that's a real bad combo. All right. Let's do some mission, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some quest dialogue here. So let me chug my water. Let me prepare myself. I have to prepare to hear lots of hear and make lots of annoying Taru voices. Let's do it. All right, so okay. Well, first off, no, that's just the gate guard. Or that's the signet guy. The gate guard is the one that gives me the mission, which is that this guy over here? Is he the gate guard? He or she? I really can't tell. It's like, come on. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh no, it begins immediately. And yeah, Varian. Yeah, like if things, you know, like in certain, like I could see it in certain parts of a raid in certain games where you know, you need a little more focus, right? But that shouldn't be all the time. You know, and if someone does just want to say something, it shouldn't necessarily, like, it's a video game. It like, as long as it's not like a really high coordination time, it should be okay to just have fun and talk to your fellow players, you know. But yeah, I've been around the scene where even that is no bueno, and I can't do it. I mean, hell, even in this game, like, I've had parties where it's like they don't want to just banter and like we're doing nothing, we're just grinding, and it's like they don't want to just chat a little bit, right? Which, hey, I get it. Every now and then, I don't, you know, I just want to pop Netflix open in another screen while I'm grinding, right? But like, but you don't get like hostile about it, right? Or you shouldn't. Okay. So, all right, it's Taru time. I gotta climb the corporate ladder again in Windurst. Alright. Goody Woody. Ahem. Nice to see you stop by. Here's a heartfelt welcome from Windurst's Best of the West Guard Platoon. God, oh man, why did I do this? I know, it's such a cool name. If you ever make the grade, you could also work here at the Western Gatehouse and join the Best of the West Guards too. Stop the embarrassing pretense, Captain. You'll frighten the poor girl away. Like, I ain't doing the cat purr, but like, at least the cat girls don't have nearly as annoying an inflection as the Tarus. I can handle them. Alright, in total, there are 4 gatehouses in Windurst. Currently, the gatehouses are heatedly competing against each other over which can gather the most new recruits. It's so childlike that it's becoming downright degrading. Wait a second. Like, wait, there's a specific thing for this guardhouse? Like, I wonder if this is the mission, or if I've just stumbled on a rando quest. I mean, either way, this is fascinating now. Like, I didn't think it would ever matter which gatehouse you went to. It doesn't for Sandoria or Bastock. Alright. Let's see. Oh, degrading. Oh, the robots. Affirmative. Most degrading. Oh, why don't you all just shut uppy-wuppy? You're discouraging newbie-woobies like our friend here from working hard for the sake of Windurst. Toddler flailing intensifies. We don't even know if she wants to serve Windurst, do we? She might just have been laughing at how short you are. Hey miss, do you even know what gatehouses like this one do? Nope, I don't know. I mean, look, it's a gatehouse. I mean, like, what do you think it does? Yeah, I know. See, she was a new recruit who came to get her first mission all along. You're a citizen of Windurst, so there's nothing holding you back. Let's go get you your first mission. Alright. And yeah, that's interesting to me, because I don't... Yeah, like, I don't think, like, there is nothing specific to which gate guard you go to for Sandoria or Windurst. I don't think. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I don't think there is. So it's interesting, it's very interesting that Windurst has, like, even just a little variation on that. That's strange. Like, why does Windurst get that? Alright, let's accept the mission. Ah, goody woody, way to go. Welcome to the best of the West. Looks like our captain is too over the moon to make sense right now, so let me explain instead. You know the Horatoto ruins out in Saruta Baruta, don't you? Well, the Oristary is about to conduct an experiment there, and they are requesting help. So skedaddle-waddle on over to the Oristary and ask their minister for the details. Do a good job so as not to shame the name of the best of the West. Good luck. Alright, the Oristary. I'm trying to remember where the Oristary is. Let's see, can I change maps to a different part of Windurst? So I think the Oristary is in, I think it's in Waters. I think. Is it in Waters too? Let's see, no, that's the Renostery. Okay. Is it in the northern part? Okay. That's the Oristary. So, the Opistary, oh god. So, let's see, the Oristary. Oh, is it right near me? Oh my god, I'm blind. I guess it's because the map was down here and I thought, like, oh. I was looking around, it's like, oh, I don't see anything here, but it's down here. Okay. Alright. I'm still trying to get familiar with Windurst. They got so many staries, and then the big tree thing. Alright, so who do they want me to... I just asked the minister. Would have been nice to know who the minister is, but I guess look for whoever looks important, I guess. Alright, so let's see, the Renostery... Or, god, I see, like, the Renostery is where you go for, like, the Fenrir thing, and, like, there's so much stuff around that. Like, Black Mage, I had to do a ton of shit around there. So that's the place I went to the most. But this is the Orostary. Not to be confused with the Oristary. Okay, so here we go. Just mages doing their thing in here. Oh yeah, no, the custom Warp Tarus, they're a godsend, honestly. Like, I remember that was one of the problems people always had with Windurst, is that, like, I think generally people liked Windurst, but what they didn't like was that, it's a very large city, it's very spread out. And getting from one section of the city to another, to where you want to go, like, even with the Moghouse quest done, so that you can exit wherever, even with that, it was just a too large, it was annoying place to get around. So I appreciate those Warp Tarus. And the Fishing Guild is a great place to put it, too. That's a great place to put it. So, okay, who's the minister in here? Who's in charge? Like, no one looks more important than anyone else. Are you the minister? Hmm. So he's talking about the guard platoons. They're just simple guards. It's not until they join the warlocks that they can feel any real pride in belonging to the Orosteri. Okay, so I guess, I mean, this is the place, but... Are you the minister? I don't think he is. I'm looking for a minister. Oh god, look at this tiny Taru door. Oh my god, it's so tiny. Ooh, oh wait, I can go back here. What's all this now? Ah, that just exits out to the front. Okay. Are you the minister? Okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know, he's back here. He looks a little more important, I guess. Let's see, he's Oruru. I've been studying status-changing magic for nigh on 20 years now. Okay, so I think he's... I think that's not related. I'm assuming, like, I'll get a scene or I'll know, right? I assume I'll know when I get the right one. So it wasn't him. Maybe it's the other guy? There's a training room for magic spells. Okay. Oh, wait, is this maybe it? Okay, this is it, I think. I could look at a wiki, but like, this is the first mission, right? It's the very first mission for Windurst. If I can't figure this out, then, I mean, I must be brain damaged. So, I'm trying without a wiki first. When you get a couple missions in, that's when it's like, no, wiki first, but, like, come on, it's the first mission. A new player, it's presumed a new player would understand where to go and what to do. So, okay, alright, what's that? Well, now I see. You volunteered to help us with the magic experiment in the Horutoto ruins. Alright, that's right, we did ask the Goon Platoon Gatehouse for assistance. Hey, Kuroido Moito. That was the minister's pell-mell experiment, wasn't it? Yeah, the minister headed off hours ago. Said he had some preparations to do, or something like that. Typical of the minister to ask for assistance and leave before the help comes. That's gone and put this poor, haughty-daughty adventurer out. I know, our minister is so centaurude. He thinks of nothing but himself. Anyway, it'd probably look better for you to head on over to the Magic Towers in East Saruta Baruta. Really, I don't think it matters if your first impression with hoity-toity old him is good or not. Either way, it won't get you into his good books, will it? Anyway, head out to the Eastern Magic Tower of the Horutoto ruins. It's a fair way and an itsy-bitsy bit dangerous, so you might want to take some friends with you. Good luck, you'll need it. So okay, I do kind of want to see if I can infer where to go. Like, I know we could pop open a wiki and all that, but like, I know there's multiple entrances to the ruins, but I kind of want to see, right, if I can figure out where to go. Am I, we'll see if I'm that dumb that I can't figure it out. But also, I guess, do I want to switch my class out? I mean, I don't need to be a white mage, black mage anymore. I'm done getting outposts for the moment. So I might want to switch out to, I'm not even sure, like, if I want to do this mission, I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be super high level or anything, because it's the first mission, but a level 1 class might not be good enough. Like, I think a level 1 class probably would have a hard time. I don't know, we'll see. I guess first thing I want to do is get back to the residential district. I want to get to my Mog house, which I wonder if one of these teleporter Tarus, I wonder if they'll take me to, you know, to the residential, right? Or at least a little closer. a little closer to where I want to be. Alright, so Windurst Woods. That's on the east end, right? Yeah. I mean, the east end is where I'd want to exit out to, and yeah, that would make sense. But let's hit the residential district, and we're pretty close to it now. So, yeah. Just north and west. Man, it feels like... Again, because I've been playing more action-y MMOs with the wife, it feels like... It's kind of relaxing to go back to this slow pace of questing and everything, but it is like, you know, getting back into a very mellow vibe, right? Like, we're just taking our time, having a good old adventure. I like that. It kind of reminds me of just how I used to play video games. I still kind of do, but like, I think nowadays I tend to look at games a lot more objective focused, and it's like, I don't necessarily like that even. It's just a consequence of, you know, getting older and playing games a lot, right? Like, you tend to look at things a little more mechanically, and like, how can I optimize what I'm doing? Even if your goal isn't to min-max or anything, right? But it just sort of happens. So, kind of getting back into just playing a game where you can't really go that fast, you know, even if you want to go fast, it's just not that kind of game. It helps to get me back into the headspace of just chilling and enjoying my time in the game, you know, take my time with it. Alright, so I guess let's see. We have a mission, and that's cool. I don't necessarily have to just jump into it and do it immediately, but I mean, why not, right? I would like to I would like to get rank 3 so that I can, you know, I can make use of the Juno teleport goblins. But I also kind of really just want to go back down and level up a class that I might want to use it for a sub job or something, right? Or it might be my new favorite, I don't know. I still need to get Black Mage up to 75, though. I'm in the home stretch for that. But, maybe Warrior, right? I have Warrior at level 10. I think that would be high enough that whatever they want me to do over at the ruins, I can probably do it. I should be able to get to the ruins without a problem. And I can also just, like, you know, I can continue leveling Warrior because I would like to use it as a sub job. Because I had at some point wanted to try out Paladin, and I think Warrior is kind of, that's like the default sub for that, right? Because Provoke. Huh. Ooh. Those towers, like, I would assume the stuff in the towers, I would assume it's like, if it follows the same trend as the other nations, I would assume that the towers are like level 10-ish, right? Because that's kind of the format that other zones go with, is like, you know, out in the open, outside of town, that's like level 1 to 10. And then if there's some kind of additional dungeon or extra area, that's usually like kind of the 10-ish area, right? For like once you hit 10. So if Warrior would be good for it, then I'd go in with that. But yeah, I'm not super familiar with Windurst and what all it has to offer me. So I don't know. Let's see. Well, first off, do I even have Warrior equipment? That's okay. Then that's perfect. That works. Now I don't need the best gear or anything. But I gotta think, like, okay, I'm Warrior 10. I probably don't even have equipment for it, but I want to level Warrior up to like 37 as a sub job. So, you know, you're not going hard into it. Don't have to commit to it, but like I'd like to level it up some. So I mean, Beastmaster's I mean, that is of course the default go-to, right? You can't go wrong with /Beastmaster. You can't. But I do find that in the low levels you don't necessarily need Beastmaster to be successful in the lower levels, and it might even slow you down because then you have to wrangle a pet, right? Like, you gotta worry about that. But, I don't know, I guess Slash Beastmaster is the safe one. So, I'll sub that for now. And I say that because, you know, I did make a hardcore character, and I did level them up at least high enough to get, like, the, you know, the hardcore t-shirt, right? I got that. And Beastmaster, I was not part of that, because, you know, you had to hit 30 first. And I did find that, like, normal physical classes do really well if you gear them really good, you eat good food, make use of potions. I didn't need Beastmaster to get, like, getting up to 30. It went pretty smooth. It's just, I think for me, like, Beastmaster is a good crutch, right? It's a really good crutch. It's safety mode. Alright, so let's see, do I have any equipment that I can wear? Let's take a look. Yeah, it doesn't have to be good equipment, but anything? Anything would do. And I guess it has to be 10 and under, so what do I got? I may not have anything 10 and under. Yeah, I think I might not. Let's see. Let's see if I got anything in my wardrobe. Yeah, Slash White Mage is pretty good too. But here's what I found. Here's what I did when I was leveling up my hardcore character a bit. You know, like all the way up to 30. So I went purely physical, right? Like warrior. So I did warrior till I could get a sub. And then I did actually try out monk. I tried that out a little bit, but also thief. I found that thief actually as a main kind of works really good. Just because of the extra evasion and accuracy and all that, like it's safe. But I went purely physical with the character, and I made up the healing thing with drinks. Like I got a bunch of regeneration drinks and I just chugged them. Like I had a regen drink on me at all times, and that worked out for keeping the health up. You know, and I always have some emergency high potions on hand. Like I found that if you're willing to spend gil, items work really good, and they let you kind of focus your character on just hitting harder, right? Hit harder more often. You know, like Slash Beastmaster does kind of it does sort of unfocus your character a bit. It's safest. It's safe. It's super safe, but like you can kill things kind of quicker sometimes, even with no pet, if you're just really focused on dealing damage physically. And the old Olay. The old Pamama Olay, like it works. It's just you have to have the gil to pump into that kind of thing. Which, you know, like obviously when you're a newer player or a lower level player, you're not really gonna have that money. But I mean, I'm good for it, right? So yeah. It's kind of funny when you have the gil, a lot of doors. A lot of new doors open up to you. Lots of new play styles open up to you if you have lots of gil to burn. I mean, remember, back in the day, I remember playing with ninjas that didn't have any ninjutsu whatsoever because they couldn't afford it. Like I think that's a prime example of how, you know, your wealth in the game affects your playstyle very much. Or a ranger with no arrows. But yeah, no, like hardcore, I think I do kind of wish that I'd gotten, like, I wish I'd at least tried hardcore with my character here, because I want that red shirt, right? But like I think a hardcore character is best as sort of a second or third character. I think it's best as sort of something you can bankroll with a normal character, so that you can really play it to the limit, right? You know, take it to the limit, get in the danger zone. Alright, so let's see, I'm just looking real quick through my wardrobe to see if I have any equipment that I can put on at all, like anything. Like, this is fishing gear, but I mean, it's... I'll be honest, even with my hardcore character, I didn't really upgrade my gear until around level 15 or so. Like, like, honestly, it doesn't matter that much in the very low levels. Alright, do I have any sort of headpiece that I can slap on? I don't think so. Okay, so I need at least some kind of headpiece, and I don't think I have any... I mean, I have my EXP rings. I have EXP rings, but I don't think I have anything that would really help me as a warrior. I still have that anniversary ring too, which I'm gonna save that. You know, I'm trying to level Black Mage up to 75, right? So I'm gonna save that anniversary ring for leveling up Black Mage. But the normal EXP ring, those are charges from a long time ago, so I can... I mean, I should burn through them so that I can recharge it again. I don't... A dream hat, no. Nothing so fancy. Well, wait, I didn't... So, okay, the holiday stuff, I failed to get the good stuff, but does the non-good stuff, does it still have defense? It does! Oh, I do have... Okay, I do. I was thinking about the +1, but the normal version has a point of defense. Hey, that's something. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I got the snowman cap, too. We got the pumpkin head. Hey, wait, the pumpkin head is enmity down, right? Like, that's enmity down, which if I'm doing the /Beastmaster thing, that would work, but it doesn't have defense. So I want that defense, right? Yeah, for some reason I thought only like the +1 version had defense on it. So okay, this works. Well, wait. Do I have any dumb event gear that could work as a weapon or something? Like, let me take a look. I have the pitchfork +1. I have the pitchfork +1. I don't think that would be a good idea. I'll go buy a real weapon, but for armor we're okay. I don't think I have any earrings that would... Yeah, I don't have any earrings. I don't really use that kind of... Like, I don't use the jewelry and stuff until around level 15-ish. You know, that level 14 jewelry is pretty nice. But I don't really deal with it before that. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I wish... Oh, man, I don't get the cookie stash. And hey there, Burn. Hey there. We're back to the old FF11. Though I do hope, I do hope that the weekend stream, I do hope it left a good impression about ESO, because we do still need more people to play with. Alright, so I guess this will be my level 10 warrior equipment. Alright, this mishmash of fisherman gear and a Santa hat. I'm good to go. So, I guess first things first, let's, I mean, do I really need a separate macro bar for Warrior? I mean, Warrior doesn't have any spells or anything. It has Provoke, but, like, I could just use my Beastmaster bar for this, right? Like, look at this. Beastmaster bar number 4 is just, it's a weapon skill and Utsasemi. like, come on now. Yeah, I got Raging Axe and then Utsasemi. Like, that is all that is on that bar. I think I could probably I could probably repurpose this for Warrior, I think. I don't know, like I might have had some kind of plan for that fourth hotbar in Beastmaster, but like for now, yeah, let's just copy and paste it, and we'll just use this for leveling up Warrior. All right, so copying and pasting. I think that's about as high as the commands will get as a sub job. Oh, also, oh, I see burn on a streak. Oh, I still like the channel points thing. I know there's some things people can do with it, but I have to set up some stuff with that, which I will be honest, I can't think of too many good things that wouldn't just be really, really intrusive. Because I looked at like a lot of the, you know, suggestions for what people can do with stream points, and it's like, there's a lot of dumb stuff like, you know, like, tell the streamer to do this or whatever, and it's like, A, you don't need points for that, we can talk like human beings, and B, that would be, like, if there was some kind of point system and notification thing attached to it, that would just be so intrusive. Like, I know it's the age we live in, right? And sorry, I'm having an old man moment. I know it's the it's the times, but like, I've never been a fan of like streams or anything where there's just constant, you know, Saturday morning talk show radio bells and whistles going off. And like constant interruptions because it's like, ooh, you know, here's big donation. I gotta like, I don't know, put my pants on my head and spin around in circles for a second, and then we can get back to the game, right? Like, no, it's, I hate that. It feels, it feels bad, feels fake as hell. So I've never really put a use in for the channel points and all that. You know, like, you can get them, but until I can find something constructive to do with them, yeah, they're just sitting there. Yeah, see, like, well, here's the thing, right? It's one of those things, it can be funny, right? I see it, and for certain types of streams, I think there's a certain type of stream where constant interruptions is okay, because that gels with it. But for something like what I do here, that would just be horribly distracting. It would be a nightmare to sit through, I think. So yeah, I stay away from all that kind of thing. I refrain from it. Alright, so let's see, I'm gonna take... Yeah, there ain't gonna be no Utsasemi here. But I do have to figure what weapon I want to use. Yeah, oh, see, a lot of the times it's like, do thing with game, right? And like, I don't know, that just, to me, I don't know, it just, it's Saturday morning radio shit. I'd rather not. Though you don't have to pay me, you know, you don't have to get me points or anything to get me to go on an FF14 rant. Oh no, I'll just do that. But yeah, I like these things to happen a little more naturally, you know. I like for the shenanigans to come naturally. It doesn't feel right if it's just like, you know, if it's on command. Which, oh god, it just reminds me of, look, I stay, like, I am not a teenager, so I stay away from the TikToks, but I see things, I hear things, and man, like, when, like, okay, I've been shown examples of the average TikTok stream, and it's like, man, this is just vomit on a screen. I don't understand. And like, people just do things constantly for the money, like it's OnlyFans or something, except instead of like, you know, here's $5 to put that up your ass, it's just like, make random noise, dance around, like it feels like we're living in that cyberpunk dystopian future, you know? Just another reminder. So yeah, look, I might be the old man on this one. I might be out of touch with the kids these days, but that's fine. That's fine with me. I'm just gonna do my thing. Yes, Burn. I have heard of NPC streams, and this is humanity. This is where we're at. The AI won. We realized we couldn't beat them, so we became them. The funny thing is, though, is what I've seen of NPC streams, it's not even like... It's not even like, I don't know, like, look, Skyrim NPCs aren't that jank, alright? It's like, I don't even know what this is. But I don't understand why people... Like, I don't understand why, like, millions of people would tune into a stream where someone is just spouting random gibberish, like their chat GPT, but even more jank. And just, you know, I don't get why people would feed that. I don't understand. See, this is the funny thing. I've seen, like, yeah, I've seen weird TikTok streamers where they, like, yeah, they don't break their flow no matter what's happening. Like, their parents can break into their room and be like, what, son, stop this madness. Like, but they just won't stop, right? They gotta keep streaming. Gotta make those pennies. So yeah, look, I don't... Yeah, I'll take being out of touch, alright? I'm here because I'm a huge nerd that likes video games and other such nerdy things, and I would like to share that and talk about it, and let's all be huge nerds together. I'm not like dancing monkey NPC, you know? Like, that you throw pennies at in a hat. Like, that's not what this is. And that's why I don't make the big bucks. That's... But I'm okay with it. Yeah, no, I, like, apparently, it's very lucrative. I mean, I've seen examples of the whole, like, NPC stream thing, and, like, yeah, no, people are... Because the whole idea is you want them to just say and do random things, so, like, people are literally just throwing, like, you know, $1 here, $2, $5, like, they're just throwing money at them constantly. Lots of people throwing money, like, it's lots of people throwing small amounts of money, but constantly, right? And yeah, I get it, but, like, man, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's healthy. I think this is we're on the path to the dark ending. All right, we're on the bad ending B path. All right. There's my rant about that. Not to get too deep, but yeah. You know what? I'm gonna be honest here. I have much more respect for, like, look, I have more respect for you know, the good old-fashioned OnlyFans whore. I have more respect for that than an NPC TikTok streamer. All right. Because at least there's some craft in that, right? You still, look, you gotta keep yourself good. You gotta have a good presentation. You gotta know how to work a camera. You got, you know, like, you gotta put, there's some production in that, at least, right? There's some production in your bedroom fucking. But, like, yeah, no, all the TikTok stuff is just, it's just trash. There's no other word for it. I'm sorry. I had to say it. Oh, we're getting into it. I know, I wouldn't be able to do it. There'd be too many disapproving looks. But yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, as I try to buy a weapon here, which I gotta think what I want for a warrior. I mean, I'm taking it up to 37, and that's about it. I assume that if I do some grouping, they're probably gonna want me to tank. I would assume. So, axes would be the way, right? I used to, hold up, I used to keep axes in my storage, but I guess I don't now, huh? What's the lowest level one I have? Wow, I used to keep axes in there. I guess I got short on space, so I stopped doing that. Okay. I think yeah, like playing too many classes at the same time and taking them up to 75, I think I hit a point where I realized there is not enough storage space to keep all the gear for every level range for all the classes I play. Like, that ain't happening. So, at a certain point I had to consolidate and keep some of that in my regular Moghouse storage. Which I don't know, I might have a good axe in there somewhere. I might have one, but I gotta be honest, I'm too lazy to go back to the Moghouse. So let's buy a good temporary weapon for right now. Alright, I feel like the brass axe is probably gonna be the best one I can get. That's 12 damage, 276 delay, but you know, I wanna, like, look, I want a warrior hard, so it's not a huge difference, but what's the cost difference? 2K! 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 I'll take it. I will take that. I will happily pay that 2K. And when I'm done with it, I can just sell it back, so that works out. I usually would use a shield of some kind with that. Again, I assume I'm gonna be tanking once I actually get into a party. Even if I'm not, I mean, more defense is always nice. I think shields are under armor, though, right? Yeah. Huh. And yet, Burn, I mean, I do get that, like, yeah, because it's such a huge thing, it's just everything is a trend. Because, well, yeah, so popular, right? But yeah, like, things that really shouldn't be. That, and also just, man, there's a lot of weird stuff. Like, I have seen, again, I would never touch it, but I have seen some weird things, some strange examples of what goes on TikTok. And yeah, I don't know, it's digital poison. What can I say? Stop drinking the poison. But you know, see, here's the thing, right? Like, I can old man shake my fist at things, but like, really, I can't be mad at a company for making money. You know, they're not technically doing anything illegal. It's just like, look, the people, right? People made it popular. People use it. People, like, think about this. The NPC streamer that's just, like, becoming a living chat GPT meme, that's nonsense. There's no point to that. It like, there's no value at all in it, in any sense of the word, but yet millions of people will tune in and constantly throw money at it. So, I mean, the people have spoken, right? This is what the people want. So, I guess, you know... I guess you just have to be mad at everyone under 30, I suppose. Again, is this how it happens? Is this how I become old, right? I think it is. I think this is how we become old. At a certain point, it's just like, you just get mad at everyone under a certain age. That's how it happens. And also, yeah, I know that Great Axe for Warrior, I mean, I hear... So, okay, here's kind of how I see Warrior a lot. I see a lot of people either like to go Great Axe, or dual-wield small axes, like Beastmaster, right? Like, basically, like Beastmaster. dual wield axes. I would figure the dual wield axes probably does more damage later on, and I'd figure the great axe would do more damage early on. But yeah, like I figure once I hit like Valkurm Dunes, eventually, probably I'm gonna be tanking, right? Like I would imagine people would invite a warrior to tank. So yeah, normal axe and shield, can't go wrong. Now, of course, if I actually, like, when I actually start, like, going to the dunes, get in group and all that, I will, of course, change my gear out. Like, I'll get better than fisherman gear. But I want to wait a couple levels. Like, I don't really want to start grouping up as a warrior, I guess, till I'm maybe, like, at least level 12, maybe closer to 14, so I can wear jewelry. Like the kids these days, all they know is how to all they know is TikTok and drink bleach. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, anything in the dunes can slash warrior and tank. It's the main thing is you got to have provoke and you have to have some way to stay alive, and that's not that hard. It's really not that hard as long as you have half decent equipment and you're using food and, you know, like as long as you're prepared for it. It's not that bad. But I don't know, I like to at least kind of pretend I know what I'm doing, so you know, I prepare properly. Though, I gotta be honest, like, I'm not, it's kind of funny. In this game, I like healing in this game, right? But I don't, like, tanking, when it comes to tanking, I don't know, like, I had ninja leveled up, right? And I didn't really enjoy tanking as a ninja. Like, it wasn't really fun to me. And, yeah, I don't know, like, I know Ninja's like a very popular tank in this, but it wasn't really for me. And Warrior, I don't know, Warrior as a class, it just doesn't... Warrior as a class doesn't really interest me. Like, it's a little boring, it's a little bit of a milquetoast class, you know? But Paladin, I really want to, like, I do really want to get into Paladin at some point. Because I like it thematically, I like its abilities, I really want to give that a good chance. But I also want to, like, I want to go into it proper. So when I do level up Paladin, I want to have, like, yeah, not the best of the best, because I can't afford that, but, like, I want to have good gear when I level it up. I want to, you know, have all my spells. I want to, like, really go into that as best I can. And I want to tank good with it. But then I play, yeah, like Ninja, I don't care. Ninja, I soloed to 37 mainly. Warrior, I'll tank with it, but, like, I'm not really interested in it. I just want to get to Paladin, right? Yeah, see, I've heard that a lot. I've heard that Ninja gets better after 37. I've heard that, and I can see it because of what they get from that level onwards. But the thing is, right? The thing is, I really did not enjoy playing Ninja up to 37. I really didn't. And I don't know, at this point I've kind of committed to, like, no, Ninja's done. I'm done with Ninja. Never again. Oh hey, I'm being attacked. Right, I'm only level 10. I'm only level 10, so... Alright, let's do it. Man, just slap it for 52 damage first thing. Yeah, Warrior's pretty tough, I gotta say. Warrior is pretty nice. Alright, we're up to the ruins. Which I wonder, do you know what? I probably could have prepared better, couldn't I? I have stealth items. I have that. But I didn't bring any food. I brought no food. I have my satchel, right? Which I'm trying to remember how to access the satchel. I think you have to view house, right? And then Mog satchel. That's usually where I keep food. So I got sweet rice cakes. That's it boosts vitality. Boosts vitality, mind, evasion. That could work as, like, you know, shitty tank food, but what else do I have? The Hobgoblin Pie. That gives HP, MP, agility, lowers charisma, but it gives defense, and HP when... I'd say the Hobgoblin Pie might work out, like, for just something to make me a little bit, like, beefier in the moment. The charisma down sucks for charming, but, like, that's not so important. Let's try out that Hobgoblin Pie, I guess. I'm still not sure why I bought it. Like, I still don't really understand why I have that Hobgoblin Pie. It's not really ideal for anything I was leveling up at the time. And yeah, no, like, Ninja, here's the funny thing. Even as a kid, right? As a kid, it's all about what looks cool, right? Even as a kid, I didn't really like playing Ninja, mainly because it cost too much, but... what I liked using Ninja for back in the day was as a sub-job for Thief. I liked Thief back in the day. And Thief/Ninja, that's fun to play. I love Thief/Ninja. That's a really fun combo to play. But if you do it the other way around, I hate it. Alright, so I have consumed my Hobgoblin Pie. It lasts for an hour, which is nice. So I assume these goblins will attack me. I don't know. Let me just, you know, let me flex. Let me see how strong I am. I like to know where I'm at for, you know, what can I fight and not die. I mean, Warrior, man, Warrior hit hard. Like, it hits real hard. So yeah, I don't have any, like, self-healing, but I don't really need it. So I wonder, is this the place I'm supposed to go? I don't know if I should talk to someone or not. Huh. Ain't no place for adventurers. Okay, this is the southeast tower of the Horitoto ruins. The only magic tower left functioning after the Great War of 20 years ago. Like, I don't know if this is the correct place to go or not, but we're here. Let me check my missions. I like to see if I'm not too dumb to follow simple instructions. Alright, so they want you to go to the Eastern Magic Tower. Yeah. So we inquired at the Oristary. We did that, right? Yeah. And now we go assist. Now, is this the Eastern Tower? Now, okay, there is another tower over there, but they said this is the only functioning one. So, I don't know, let's take a quick look. I don't remember this music. Then again, I've never really been out in the ruins. Also, yeah, burn. You know, the funny thing is, I think actually Ninja in Final Fantasy XI, I'm pretty sure that predates Naruto. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that, like, I don't know when Naruto started, but I think it at least predates the Naruto hype, right? Like, the hype train of it. But then, you know, then you compare that to, like, Ninja in Final Fantasy XIV, and literally, Ninja does the Naruto run in FF14. It does the Naruto. Alright, what level's things in here? Level 6. Yeah, this is actually, like... This is kind of the perfect level range, actually, for a level 10 warrior. Charm! Yeah! Okay. Now, are these bats gonna be hostile? Oh, well, we got company. Yeah, I guess I could see it. So, like, maybe there was a little Naruto inspiration there, but, like, in FF11 times, yeah, it hadn't, like, Naruto had not gotten popular in the West yet. And I think overall its popularity was less. So I don't think there was any, like, direct influence there, or at least not too much. But then, yeah, FF14, it's very clear. Very clear. Alright, it looks like the bats don't aggro. That's good. Also, this music, the music in here for the ruins, it really reminds me of, like, just classic-ass Final Fantasy music. The look of the place, too. Like, if you just look at this place, like, the very simple look of it, it reminds me of something, it feels like the 3D version of, like, something I'd see in Final Fantasy IV, right? Oh, I wonder if the blade bats aggro. Ooh, those do. Okay, the blade bats aggro. Okay, so blade bats aggro, but the 3 bats don't. But okay, so let's go deep here. Oh, and look, the Goblin Weaver's on me. Do I have a weapon skill? Yeah, I have Raging Axe. Okay. But when I look at this area, it's a mix of the music and also just the look of it. But it's really, it's reminding me of the places you'd go in FF4 or FF2 in the West on the Super Nintendo. But it's reminding me of the places you'd go to, like, get the crystals, right? You know, like where the crystals were kept, they'd have, like, these rooms that would look... The overall style was very a simple dungeon look, right? But with a kind of light theme to it. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, just the overall look of these ruins here. I feel like there should be, like, a big floating crystal in the middle of this place. It's just giving me flashbacks to that. Alright, I gotta rest up my health. My health. Oh yeah, I wonder, how deep into warrior am I? I'm only 1,000 away from hitting level 11. Not far off. Like, the thing is, I came here to do a mission, but the honest truth is that I need to level up. I want to level more before I hit the dunes. So, I mean, I might as well, right? I might as well get my grind on while I'm here. It's a pretty good place for it. Though I am regretting, I do wish that I had kind of maybe, like, brought along some healing drinks, some health drinks. But it's fine. It's fine. The Hobgoblin Pie, I mean, at least that does boost my health recovery, you know, my health regeneration a little bit. Well, it's not regeneration, it's healing. Just healing. And also gives me 15 MP that I can't do anything with, but that's, you know, that's fine. But yeah, it's kind of funny, like, just doing this, right? Just playing a little FF11 again, just doing these simple things, it's really... I think this is what I feel like is missing for me from, like, Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, there's so many reasons that I fell out of love with that game. But one of them is that it doesn't give you a whole lot of feelings like, man, I remember, but in a good way, right? Like, when I play this, like, I'm going around this Lobby dungeon here, and it's reminding me so much of, like, things from you know, Final Fantasy IV, things from the early Final Fantasies I like, but it's like, oh, hey, now they're in 3D, right? Or what I would think in my head, that but 3D. right? Even the, like, which I love the Horizon. I love what Horizon's done with it all, but, like, even just the basic music, it all gives that feeling of, this is Final Fantasy. It's that stuff from my childhood, but, like, oh man. But in a different way. I like it. FF14 kinda used to sorta do that a little bit. Like, FF14 in the early days, I think they tried to, like, make people think about the early Final Fantasy games and to really, like, this is why you play Final Fantasy, right? This is what you love, right? I think they at least tried early on. But as FF14 went on, I think they just sort of stopped caring about that. And I think at a certain point, the demographics just changed so much that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of people that play FF14 now, if it's the first Final Fantasy game they've ever touched. So, like, you know, you're not gonna hit them with the feelings, right? You can't play some chiptune and throw them into a place like this and have them feel anything, because they can't. And that's not to say it's bad or anything, but it's just like, yeah, it's not. It's that realization that maybe this game ain't for me anymore. But 11, it just where I like it, just right. Well, so that's the thing, right? Like, in FF14, they do a lot of that just port thing in. Like, there's, oh god. Like there was a lot of Final Fantasy VIII stuff in like the last expansion for the game, right? Like, they even had, like, literally Final Fantasy VIII boss music for some of the raids. And they also, there was, like, the weird stuff with the Omega Scape and whatever, where they literally just took, like, boss fights complete with their music and everything from older Final Fantasies and just shoved them in there. And the funny thing is that it doesn't really scratch my itch, which is weird. You'd think it would, right? Like, you would think that's like, if I'm looking to feel the feelings from, you know, as a kid, right? You know, hey, I remember, you would think that just slapping things from the older games in there, you'd think it would do it, but it kind of gives me the opposite feeling. I did like the Ghost Train. I did like the Ghost Train. That was actually kind of fun. I think that one was kind of fun because they did something with it, you know? Like, they did something with it. But I found that the majority of, like, the bosses and themes and things that they just poured over, a lot of it, mechanically, it has nothing to do with the original thing, and it doesn't tie into anything. It doesn't, like, it just literally feels like a copy-paste job, but if you kind of forgot to paste the parts that made it interesting and fun originally, like, it's visually the thing, but it's, you know, it's not, right? It's that feeling. It's so hard to even describe, but, like, visually it's the thing, but it's just not. It's a hollow shell of the thing. And because of that, it almost makes you feel sad, right? Like, it almost makes you feel like, I don't know, you're missing something. It becomes a downer. Like, in this game, right? In this game, it has a lot of, you know, classic Final Fantasy things that are... It's in the visuals, it's in the music, it's in everything, even down to the icons, right? Like, you know, the icons on the interface, the signs outside of shops, you know, you see that bag, you know you're going into an item shop, right? You see those symbols and you know what they mean. And here, I don't, like, it feels right. It feels good. like it feels like it's all done with a lot of purpose. But in FF14, I think the problem is it all feels so hollow, and like it's just there to make you think about thing, and that's it. Because really, they don't want you to think about thing. They want you to, you know, they want to try to hit that feeling and keep you playing, but like they don't really care so much about the older games. I just get that feeling that they don't really care that much about the older games. Like maybe at some point someone did. Like early on, I thought FF14, like early on, despite the problems, I thought it was fine and it was doing right by me. But so I think at some point someone cared, but I think that changed at some point. I'm not sure when, but I think that changed. And I feel it. I feel it when I play the game. And that's why I don't anymore. Again, you got another FF14 rant out of me, but I mean, it's kind of topical. It's kind of relevant to what we're doing. Which at this point, I think I've kind of given up on like finding quest NPC. I think probably they're in the other tower, right? Like I think I might be in the wrong tower. But it's good EXP in here. It's like this is a good EXP spot, so I'm kind of just doing that for a bit, trying to get me a level up. I'm also just enjoying this area too. It's a fun little area to poke around in. I like the music going on. Probably a little risky to just to go in on this one, but I'm gonna do it. Oh, I didn't even see that other goblin over there. I didn't even see him. All right, let's see if we can pull this goblin back a little bit. There we go. So I don't aggro everything in the room. So yeah, I didn't know much about Windurst or where to go around Windurst, but yeah, I can see how this is a fun place to just kill things in. It's a fun place to do my murder. Like you know, I still love Bastok. I love everything about Bastok. The town's happy town music. I'm so familiar with the mines and the area around it. I love it, but admittedly, it's kind of a bland place. Geographically, I guess. Very brown. And also, it is a little... maybe not laid out the best, right? I'll be fair about that. Now, also Sandoria, I mean, I like Sandy. I've come to really like Sandoria as a town. And I think the Ronfar is great. And it has a lot of, like, you know, King Ronper's tomb. I've come to really enjoy that as a place to go after level 10. And then the outpost, Gelspa. Good times. But, I'd say this one, though, I don't know, this one is a little different in its feel. Again, it invokes that classic Final Fantasy dungeon feel in me, in a way that, like, King Ronper's tomb doesn't. I expect to see a big crystal fountain somewhere. Also, I wonder, are those teleporters over there? Or, like, what's going on with these glowy things? They're ancient magical gizmos. Will that take me to a separate section of the dungeon? I don't know. I'm only level 10. I don't want to get lost in here, right? Let's not go too nuts. I'm almost level 11. You know what? I'm here to level warrior up to 37, right? So why not? Let's pop that old EXP bonus. I mean, I need to recharge my ring anyway, so, like, it's all bonus right now. Uh-oh, bomb toss. Uh-oh, that could hurt. That could hurt. Okay. Thank God it was a weak one. It was a weak one. That bomb toss had me really nervous. Ooh, this is a tough bat right here. I wish I'd I'd gone for the charm on this one, but I think let's take the EXP on it. Okay, not teleporters, and I assume just quest things then. But yeah, I need a new bat. That one's level 5. That's a level 6 bat. I'm going for that one. Shooting for the moon. There we go. There we go. Nice bat. That goblin got a little closer than I'd like, but here we go. End it. I like how hard Warrior hits. There we go. Good timing. So yeah, what is, like, do I get anything when I click this? Ooh. Ooh. Now that is very Final Fantasy. I don't know what it is or why, but that is super Final Fantasy right there. Again, I assume it's a quest thing. I assume. But I think, like, here's another thing, right? When I think about Final Fantasy, like, you know, I always kind of default back to the first couple ones I played, which, you know, Super Nintendo, right? But I think what I always sort of, I know that Final Fantasy games, the tone can be whatever, right? Like, there's classic fantasy ones, there's sci-fi ones, there's things in between, right? And I like Final Fantasy VIII, right? 8 is kind of one of my favorite ones. And that's a more modern setting. But I want to say, like, when I think Final Fantasy, I tend to think not like classic medieval fantasy necessarily, but I think of classic fantasy, right? I guess now maybe it's its own genre, classic Final Fantasy. And I guess the tone for that would be, for the most part, kind of more traditional fantasy, mostly, like, not medieval necessarily, but, you know, old-timey. And, you know, with some artifacts in there, right? Some things that betray that, like good old airships, right? I remember my lunar whale. I remember that. But those things tend to be the exception, not the rule, right? Like, FF4 is kind of the one I really have the strongest memories of as a kid, and, like, yeah, that's, like, mostly typical fantasy, very standard, like, anime fantasy fare, right? But then, yeah, then you had, like, the lunar whale and shit, but, like, that was exceptions, not the rule. And so that's kind of the tone I like my Final Fantasy to have. I think, like, a good Final Fantasy tone, it could be almost Dungeons and Dragons-like in its setting tone, but then you throw some extras in there to make it interesting, right? And I think, like, with FF14, they went a little too hard in other directions. And at this point, I don't know what the tone of FF14 is. I don't know what the tone of the game is anymore. I lost the thread on that. And the more sci-fi Final Fantasy games, it's not that they're bad or anything. Again, I liked FF8, but even with that, I felt like the tone was still very consistent, and it still had a lot of those classic things in there, but just presented in a bit of a different way. I think maybe, I guess what I'm looking for is tonal consistency. How about that? Tonal consistency is a good thing, I think. I thought that goblin was gonna attack, but no, just level 1. Like, okay, people shit on FF8 a lot, right? But I think for the most part, Final Fantasy VIII's like its overall world setting, I believe it's very consistent. Like, it's for the most part a sort of, you know, contemporary modern story, right? A modern setting for the most part. But then kind of depending on where you go, it can go a little, you know, a little older fantasy, or it can go into like, you know, future tech, right? But for the most part, the setting is very consistent. I mean, you say what you want about the plot, right? You can... I accept that the overall plot of Final Fantasy VIII, maybe not the best, right? But the world building, I think, is very consistent. Like, there's never a point when I play FF8 where I think, like, why is this? What is the... like, what is the setting? Like, even when they introduce later on in the game the Esther, right, the kind of futuristic areas, like, I can kind of understand why we didn't see too much of that sort of thing before, the way that it's presented, right? And it also doesn't break the setting either. Like, it's not so crazy that it would completely take you out, like it doesn't kind of break down things that came before it. But, like, I don't know, look, like with FF14, it's like the level of technology and or magic is just so all over the place, and you'll frequently have moments where you think, well, wait, if they have this, why didn't they use it back, you know, at earlier point in the main story or whatever, right? That kind of thing, even with FF8, doesn't really happen. I don't know. That is me just kind of being a Final Fantasy old man there. But I know what I like, and I know what I don't like. Yeah. Something Alligans. But yeah, I don't know. For me, like, a big problem with 14 is just the tonal inconsistency in the world building. That's a huge problem for me. Like, I think everything, world building, just, you know, like general game stuff, and then even that ties around to the look, the music, the interface. It, like, everything kind of meets at a certain point. And I feel like for FF14, it doesn't really... It's not a clean meeting point. Things like the pieces of that puzzle come together really sloppy. You know, the toddler that was putting the jigsaw puzzle together, they got frustrated and started just jamming pieces together at a certain point. That's what it feels like. Alright, I think I have to kill a couple of these level 1s in order to make higher level 1s spawn, so I'm just gonna clean them up a little bit. But, oh god, honestly, getting back into this, it's kind of just giving me the urge to go back and play, like, one of the real old-school Final Fantasies again. Like, in proper original form. Or at least close enough, right? I mean, I'm actually thinking, like, when is the last time I played Final Fantasy IV? It's been a long time. And the funny thing is, I know there's cleaner versions of Final Fantasy IV these days, but whenever I get the urge to play FF4, which, you know, that's FF2 for North America, I always go back and I play the original North American release, which Final Fantasy II in big quotes. Like, I know that there's problems with that version, but, like, it's the version I remember, right? And that's always the one I go back and play whenever I get the urge. Like, yeah, I know it's got a sloppy translation. There's some things just missing, and like it's got some weird balance. I know, but like, it's memories right there. The Pixel remasters, I don't think I got them. I have some older ones, which that's the thing. There's a couple of remasters out there. I think for a lot of the Final Fantasy games, there was like a PlayStation 1 collection, which was slightly remastered, I guess. I really liked that one, like the anthology thing. That's how I played a couple of the older ones. But I'm trying to think if I have the Pixel remasters. I don't think I do, or I might only have some. I know I have at least 2 separate versions of Final Fantasy V, and I haven't played any of them yet. I know, I've actually never played FF5, not more than like 5 minutes worth. And it's purely a timing thing. Like, there was always something that would distract me away from playing it, but I do hear such good things about 5, so I really should give it a shot, right? I think 5 is the only one I haven't, like, that's the only one I really haven't played around with at all. Like, I've even gone back, I've beaten Final Fantasy 1, like, with the anthology thing. I've beaten the first one, and I like it. I like FF1. It's real old school RPG. I got a couple hours deep into FF2, but, yeah. And same for 3, like, I don't know, wasn't quite feeling those. But I'd say 5 is the big one that I haven't played properly yet, and I really should, because I know there's a lot of love for that one. I guess the problem is it's that thing where whenever you want to go back and enjoy a thing from your childhood, or, you know, just play a good old classic game, it's very easy to go back to what you're kind of more familiar with, what you know. Like, it's like fast food, right? And here's a little anecdote for you. So, like, when we order fast food, right? We have, like, there's several choices, and they're all good. There's lots of places we haven't tried. Like, there's so much to try, right? And you want to try them. You want to, like, oh, let's find something fun and new, right? But when we settle down and actually order fast food, we always order from the same place that we really like, and every time the wife gets a very specific pizza that she likes, and I get a schnitzel burger and fries. Every time, right? And that's comfort. Like, it's because I know those. I know that it's going to be a good time, and it's going to give me those good feelings. And yeah, there's other options, and they're good too, but like, and you want to. Like, you know, you don't want to feel like you're boring and you're just doing the same thing over and over, but at the same time, when you know something is comfy, and that's what you're kind of looking for, right? You're looking for that comfy feeling. Yeah, it's pretty easy to just kind of get stuck with the same thing over and over again, but, you know, it's comfy, right? So it's like that, but with video games. You know, if I get that urge to play a classic Final Fantasy game, yeah, I'd love to try 5 out. I have good versions of it. But, yeah, every single time I just go back to, like, FF4 or, you know, FF2, North America. Or, hell, I play Mystic Quest, which I know, that's not even a real Final Fantasy game, but I love it. But yeah, like, I just go back to those comfy, you know, they're my comfy fast food Final Fantasy games. It's so easy to do that, you know? I try to expand, but it's hard. I mean, look, that's why I'm playing Final Fantasy XI right now, right? Also, let's see, let me rest my health up a little bit. Some good enemies need to spawn back in, too. Yeah, so I gotta try the Pixel remasters. It's just there's been a couple of remasters of those, like the old Final Fantasy games over the years, and I think I tried a couple of them, and they're either so far off base, like in terms of look and feel, they're either so far off that like I want to feel like I'm playing a Super Nintendo game, basically, right? I don't want a 3D remake. I don't want, I want to feel like I'm playing a Super Nintendo game. And most of the remasters I've tried don't feel like that. They feel more like a cell phone game, which I think they were. So, but they got ported over to Steam. So yeah, I gotta give the Pixel remasters a good shot. And also, yeah, I think people have come around on it now, right? Like, I think nowadays people have come around on it, but for a long time, people didn't like Mystic Quest. They just call it baby's first Final Fantasy, and yeah, it is. Like, that's literally what it is. Mystic Quest was put out like that specifically to be sort of an intro to Final Fantasy games, right? Like, it is what it is, but man, the game has a rockin' soundtrack. I like the look of it and everything. Like, it looks proper Final Fantasy. The fights, like the battles are, yeah, they're on the easy side, right? Because it's an intro game, but they're fun still, right? Like, it's a fun game. There's lots of fun environmental stuff too. Like, I remember, like, you'd get, like, weapons and tools and things that you could use to kind of navigate the environment, which, not that many games did back then, Like, not that many games, like RPGs, not that many RPGs back in the day, would give you, like, tools or equipment or weapons or whatever that would let you manipulate the environment or move around the environment in an interesting way. Like, outside of something like a Zelda game, right? Like, yeah, a Zelda game would do that, but that's not really an RPG now, is it? Like, it's an adventure game. So I think Mystic Quest did a lot right. It's just, yeah, it is Babby's first RPG, but that's fine, right? Alright, gonna try to weapon skill finisher here. Alright, but yeah, trying to think, so yeah, Mystic Quest, I don't know, I'd like a remaster of that, but I don't think, people don't hate it anymore, but I think it kind of slipped under the radar. I just know I will go back and listen. Like, I'll just listen to the soundtracks from Mystic Quest on their own. They're that good. And also, it's kind of making me think about something else that it's not Final Fantasy, but it's tangential thought here. Speaking about, like, being able to manipulate the environment in a proper classic RPG, there's one series that I came across way too late, and when I stumbled into it, I immediately wished that I knew about it years and years earlier. But the Golden Sun games, like the first two. The third one's a bit weird, but the first two Golden Sun games. Which, first off, they're on the Game Boy Advance, which there's actually some shockingly good RPGs on the Game Boy Advance. Well, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, right? But yeah, Golden Sun is one of those things where I would not expect such a massive, epic adventure of an RPG, right? Like, I would not expect that on a portable system, right? Like, especially not back then. Like, nowadays, you can do anything, right? Nowadays, the sky's a limit. But back in the day, like, I didn't have high hopes for a proper RPG on a handheld. But Golden Sun, like 1 and 2, they do that. They do it good. And they really have that environmental manipulation thing down. You know, like you get different, like, I think they're called synergies in that, but you get different, like, synergy abilities which you can use to manipulate the terrain, like, oh, you know, shoot water up in the air, and then, you know, like, oh, it freezes, and then you can use it as a platform to get across an area, and yeah, stuff like that, right? Like, that kind of thing, I came across those games years later. Like, we were well into, like, the 3DS era of handhelds, right? So I stumbled on it super late, but I played through Golden Sun 1 and 2, and, like, man, I was blown away by how good they were. And also really good battle music. They got some real good battle music. So yeah, not a Final Fantasy thing, but classic JRPG thing, I want to say. Which I am kind of finding myself, I don't know, I'm at a weird place when it comes to JRPGs. Like, JRPGs are very much what I grew up with. Yeah, mainly Final Fantasy, but I like the format of a turn-based JRPG. And there aren't really a whole lot of those to go around these days, although it is kind of coming back, I think. I do think they're kind of... I haven't played them personally, but I've seen and heard very good things about a couple of like, classic Final Fantasy-esque JRPGs coming out in the last couple years. And I did play Bravely Default. That was some good stuff. That brought me back, but I think it's coming back around. It's coming around. Yeah, I keep seeing it. It's just right now, we're not in a great place to just go frivolously spending. So we're kind of, you know, holding back on that one. But at some point, I do want to grab some things. But which, you know, that being one that I have my eye on. Like, I'm aware of a lot of good ones. It's just, you know, gotta timing. Financially, the timing's gotta be right. Oh man, I feel like I'm getting turned around a little in here. But yeah, I do think that, like, classic old school style JRPGs, I do think they've made a comeback, and in a good way. It's just you're not really getting it out of the usual suspects anymore. Like, if you want, like, a good turn-based classic old school Final Fantasy game, there's lots of them these days, but they're not called Final Fantasy. Like, I think Final Fantasy is a bit of a lost cause as far as that goes. They're just not interested. But I don't know. Every time I see a turn-based game come out, it makes me happy, and I'm even okay with the non-turn-based ones. It's more of a feel thing, right? Like, I think about, say, Star Ocean, right? I consider the Star Ocean games to be some good classic JRPG, and they're not turn-based. They're like, they use kind of a real-time system, and then at least from the PlayStation 2 and onwards, it's very real-time combat. But with, like, you know, you can pause, go through the menus to use items and abilities and things, so it's a little bit of a, you know, real-time with pause, right? It still has the feel. Like Star Ocean games still feel like classic JRPG, even if they're not turn-based, but they are classic. Like, they've been around since the Super Nintendo. So I'd say it's mainly like it's a look and feel thing, right? Yeah, oh man, RPG Maker. I have seen some good things done with RPG Maker and other, like, Maker type of things. Like, funny enough, a lot of them in the more adult game territory, but, like, that are also proper good video games first, and then the adult part second. But, Yeah, I can understand wanting to fight the stigma, which I think that... See, here's the problem. The whole, like, fight the stigma thing. I think that's honestly what happened with, like, normal turn-based RPGs versus, you know, the more real-time action, intense, in-your-face. Like, I think... It's sort of the same thing. I think there was just sort of a point in time where... Like, it was kind of like mid-2000s, where there was a point in time where, as gaming was kind of changing, the Call of Duty crowd was coming around. Gaming was kind of being looked at more as something that should be visceral, intense, in your face. Like, we got this technology, we can make it real now. And, you know, and so you want things to be more action-y, too, right? And I think for a while, anything turn-based was kind of looked at as being outdated, right? Like, oh, that's old. What is this, a Super Nintendo? And I think that stigma alone just, like, it kept... Like, it kept a lot of games that probably would have been better as a turn-based RPG. You know, they went with trends, and it might not have turned out the best. Or really, just you get a lot of bland, same-feeling games because, well, you know, we can't be a unique turn-based RPG, we gotta do the thing, right? Be action-y. So that's what you get in, like, more mainstream games. When it comes to, like, RPG Maker and stuff, it's that, like, look, making an RPG in RPG Maker, it's like, well, come on, it's in the name, right? It's in the name. So you got to do something interesting with it, right? You got to make a weird horror game that plays really strange and everything makes no sense, and you know you. But the thing is that itself becomes a trope, right? Like the trope that nothing in the game makes sense and it's all just like mechanics that don't work for RPG Maker, but you're trying to be, you know, crazy with it. That itself is a trope. Like, it all just loops back around. Is this goblin gonna attack? Yes, it will. I'm gonna pull a little thing here. I'm gonna do the Beastmaster thing. So I wanna see if I can find some good bats to fight with. Oh, the goblin. The goblin finished my pet off a lot quicker than I thought it would. Here we go. So, get in there. Okay, so now we have a good pet, right? Good pet, fight Gobbo, all good. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so with the whole fights need to only last a turn or two, here's the thing, you don't really want, like, you don't want fights to drag, and you don't want, like, it depends on the pace of your game. If you have, like, if it's a more typical JRPG type of thing, where there are frequent random battles, you don't want frequent random battles to last, like, you know, 5 minutes, right? You want those to be things you can end in, like, yeah, in, like, 1 or 2 turns. But if you don't have frequent random encounters, then every encounter should be a little more involved. And also, you can have those frequent encounters that go quick. You know, if you play right. You know, if you play correctly, they should go quick. But like boss fights or mini bosses or, you know, just bigger encounters, those should be a little lengthier. You know, those should be meatier affairs where you really get involved. It's a back and forth, you know. Although, I don't know, when it comes to art assets, like, oh, that's a tricky one, because I will admit, if I see an RPG Maker game, and it looks like an RPG Maker game in the sense that it looks like it's all just, you know, pre-packaged assets, you know, I will admit that lowers my interest in even attempting to play it. However, placeholder assets and all that, they're not necessarily a bad thing. You know, like placeholders or just using some pre-made assets, it's not necessarily bad, but the whole game shouldn't be that. I think that's the best way to put it, is you need some original stuff in your game, but it doesn't, you know, if you sprinkle in some placeholder, that's fine too. I guess it's all about just, like, you should be able to look at the game and tell that effort was put into it. You know, you don't want to feel like the game was just generated. Oh no, look at that. The goblins are all over my bat. I'm gonna let that bat die, and I'm gonna pick up this, yeah, I'm gonna pick up this blade bat over here. I don't know, should I help my bat? I don't know. Oh, there's a level 7 bat right there. It's just right over there. I'm gonna let it die, and then I'm gonna, yeah, grab this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And then bonk. Ooh, oh my, we've activated some brain cells. But yeah, but like Burn, yeah, I could see that problem, and I think I've encountered a couple RPG Maker games where I kind of felt like they put a lot of money in on the art assets, and then like no money or no effort went into the gameplay. But that's more for games that border on the adult territory or just are in that. Funny thing, there's actually a lot of good like RPG Maker style adult games that are really like proper RPGs, and then adult content second, right? And there you can tell a lot of effort and work and money went into them. But then there's also, yeah, there's ones where they just kind of slap the game together, and you can tell that all the money went into hiring artists to make the, you know, to make that cheesecake, right? And that don't feel good. That don't feel good. I think this will level me up. I think. Oh yeah, there we go. Look, level 12. Man, it's actually, you know, I came here for a mission, and then I just got my grind on. And honestly, this is a good place for it. I'll go a little longer in here. And I'm getting fire crystals, wind crystals. This is a good time. I mean, I'm not hurting for gil or anything. I have ways to make gil, but it feels good to kind of, you know, to do both, right? To get good EXP and also some good gil and maybe crafting stuff on the side. Huh. Oh wait, there isn't an ending for a blurred line. I haven't heard of that. Now, I mean, the title alone is kind of piquing my interest, so I might have to look into that one. But yeah, I think art, like, here's the thing, right? You need a game that functions first, right? A game that functions should be #1. #2, though, should be, like, you know, the art assets and all, like, that comes next, but game should come first. Oh yeah, I know, I remember. I assume prices haven't changed that much since I really played a lot, and wild onions, man, they are prohibitively expensive. Like, if you wanna make some nice cooking stuff, like, oh man, anything that needs onions, oh boy, you're in for a bad time. But if you're selling onions, it's great. good money in selling onions. It's like hair meat, you know? It's super common, should be easy for anyone to get, but like, oh man, it's worth its weight in gold. And yeah, like it's a hard one, Burn, because I get it, right? Like, I mean, I had just said it, that if I see an RPG Maker game, even if you tell me it's the best game ever, if I take one look at it and it looks like it's made with generic assets, I am immediately put off. Call it whatever you want. It's some bias there, I know, but like, it immediately puts me off. But the answer isn't to make a game that has super unique assets and like, you know, everything went into making it look unique and then it plays like shit, right? That's not the answer. Or getting like a really nice looking game, but then you just literally never finish it, right? These aren't the answers to the problem. I think the answer is kind of somewhere in between, you know, like you gotta spread your efforts around. I mean, yeah, like I will play a game, I will. And actually some of those good adult RPG Maker games, they do use some generic assets, they do. Like even Third Crisis has some generic assets. So like I'm not totally against it, but it's just like if you're just presenting me with something, it gives me a bad feeling if things look generic. And that's in general, right? Like that's even for non-RPG Maker stuff. If you show me a game and it looks like, I don't know, you got those off the Unity asset store, right? If it gives me that vibe, I'm immediately put off. That doesn't mean that I won't check it out or that I won't like it, but it's just like it's one more level to the barrier of entry, you know? And if you have too many levels, then the barrier gets too high and you can't climb over it. So if you have if you have a generic looking game and also there isn't really anything interesting or fun going on with it, then that barrier, it's just too high for me to climb. You know, like, I'm too fat, I can't get over the barrier. I can't climb it. But I think you cannot ignore presentation. Now, you can present generic things in an interesting way, and you can make it work, but you gotta have a good presentation. I think that's true for most anything. Like, that's literally why I like RimWorld, but I can't bring myself to play Dwarf Fortress, right? Alright, so my bat's dead, but there's only Lobie goblins in here. Oh yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, RPG Maker does have like lots of kind of packs you can buy, right? But I guess most people just don't. Like, I'd assume most people, if they're gonna pay for assets for their game, I assume they'd want to like pay an artist or something to make assets, right? So I could kind of see why there'd be a little more respect for that, but all the same, it's just, you know, it's overall presentation that matters, and you can make that work even if you're generic. It's how you use what you have. I think a good example would be, like, okay, let's say all you have is a bunch of generic assets, right? But that doesn't mean you have to, like, copy-paste, right? Like, you can have a bunch of assets that are pre-made, but if you use them well, you spread them around, and you kind of, you know, you try to add variety where you can. that can work. But like, okay, a good example, let's say you have a room full of barrels, right? If every single barrel and container, like it's a warehouse, right? So like if every container in that room is literally just the same barrel JPEG over and over and over like 20 times, that's horrible. That looks absolutely terrible. But if you have that generic barrel and maybe, like let's say you need 20 items to fill the space, right? Okay, throw some generic barrel 1, then some generic barrel 2, maybe some generic container 1 and 2, like, you know, something, right? I think what I've seen a lot with RPG Maker is people just sort of, like, they really just copy-paste a lot. Like even with the limited generic assets, they limit themselves even more by not adding variety to it. I think that's kind of the bigger problem there. That's what presentation means. But yeah, you can change change the coloration a little bit, right? Like slightly tint them. You know, there's little things you can do just to mix it up, but you don't want literally just copy paste job over and over. That looks terrible. Again, this isn't an RPG Maker problem exclusively. There are modern video games, but like, I don't know, made in Unity or whatever, and they have that problem where they just copy paste, granted very high resolution 3D assets, but like they'll just copy paste that shit. They don't care. Also, I am finding a lot of wild onions here. Like, how many do I have? I got 3. If I remember right, like, each onion is worth, like, around 1K. At least they can be. They're usually high hundreds up to a K. So hey, I can use that onion money to buy some better equipment when I'm ready to start partying as a warrior. Oh, for some reason I thought my pet died. I don't know why. I thought he was dead. My brain is just blanking on me. I think I know what it is. I'm starting to get hungry. I'm getting hungry, and also, you know, usually around now to about an hour from now, that's when I take my you know, my ADHD meds for the afternoon and evening. That's why I'm a little unfocused right now, which is just my default state, but I like having some clarity. I think I can be a little more on point. It's fine. But I'm not sure how much longer we'll go today. Because I do actually also have some things I wanted to get done around here. So, let's say maybe no more than to the hour. How about that? I got so distracted just grinding in here. I love grinding, but maybe I should actually try to find the quest NPC. I don't know. Then again, I mean, like, I have an EXP boost on right now, and if I don't make use of that, it's just getting wasted, right? So I should keep going until that EXP boost wears off. Oh no, I'm paralyzed. I was a little worried that the paralysis would that it would eat my my weapon skill, but no, lucked out on that. Oh, that's only a level 2 bat, but level 2 bat's better than nothing. It's extra damage. I will say that doing this, while I did get completely distracted from my mission, this is getting me back in the vibe of, like, general flow of combat, general, like, using my macros and all of that. It's getting me back into the vibe of things. So, you know, I can hop back on my level 70 Black Mage and not just get myself killed when I try to do the /Beastmaster solo thing. Which that's another reason I wanted to like go back and level up a low level class, so I don't, so that while I'm kind of getting re-familiar, I don't just die over and over and over again and de-level or something. Very low stakes with a level 10 warrior. And hey there, Rono or Connor, I don't know, whichever one works, but hey there. Just doing a little grind. Getting the grind on. Let's see, how deep am I into level 12? Oh, almost halfway through the level. I wanted to do the mission out here, the first Windurst mission, but I don't know. This is working out. I'm enjoying my time grinding. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay. I don't need, like, honestly, it would probably be about equally effective to go in here as a slash white mage or whatever, you know, just something to heal myself, but I don't know, having a pet, it's a nice little damage boost. They take aggro, so I can push myself a little longer, you know? And no, I'm not new to Horizon. I just took a nice extended break. I've played this character from the beginning, from character creation. The stream has been going since I started with this character, and I have Beastmaster at 75 now, and Black Mage is level 70. I'm quite a ways in, but I'm taking a break. I took a break from the game, and so as I get back into it, I'm going back, and starting from square one. Fresh nation too. I had hit rank 10 with Sandoria, so now I'm back down to rank 1 with Windurst. I'm climbing the ladder all over again, and I kind of love that. Like I love the new player experience, even if I'm not new. I love that sense of exploration and wonder and feeling things out, and it feels good to get that again. You know, even if I also have multiple high-level jobs and also like what over 2 million gil. But I feel fresh, right? I feel fresh and refreshed. Oh yeah, it can be a grind, but I think the best way to look at it is, you know, make it a grind that you enjoy, and don't feel like you have to do anything. Don't feel like you have to, I don't know, hit a certain level or get a certain thing. And just take it all as it comes. You know, just let it happen. Uh-oh, 2 gobos. This is a real bad spot to stand in. I really should not stand in such a spot. But we're here now, so we're dealing with it. Out of curiosity, let's see, where's the dungeon exit? It's not too close. Oh. Look at all this mess. Oh. Okay, here we go. Weapon skill. Okay, that's 1 down. And then the last goblin. That was... Yeah, usually you don't want to just run into the middle of a room and start punching goblins, but, yeah, I done it. And you don't want to do it when you're low health especially, but, well, hey. It's that in for a penny, in for a pound. Alright, but now the room is clear so I can rest. Oh yeah, well, I mean, here's what I would suggest. For me, since I missed out on the whole hardcore thing, I do have a second character. I don't play it on the stream. It's just a fun thing I like to pop on every now and then. But my second character is a hardcore mode character. So, you know, you die and you don't get deleted, but you lose your hardcore status. But I'm having fun with a second hardcore character. I would not recommend a hardcore playthrough for the first playthrough, not seriously anyway. Like, maybe see how far you get, but I wouldn't go too hard on committing to it for the first character. But for second or third characters, it's a real fun challenge. You kind of have to play the game very differently. And I guess by differently, I mean everything is about self-preservation. Like, you prepare as much as you can to not die. And then everything else is secondary to that. But it is actually kind of a fun way to play. But I would not, that would be too stressful if that was just my main, right? But overall, I hope you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying your time on Horizon. Again, you know, don't stress too much about the grind. Just take it easy and just kind of get into the game. I still think Horizon, like, for that classic Final Fantasy XI experience, even though, funny enough, it is, you know, with lots of custom stuff, I do think this is kind of the ideal classic experience, even though it's not classic. It's classic in tone. It's got the vibe right, you know, it's got the spirit, which I've played on other private servers that try to just emulate the game circa 2005 or whatever, and they might emulate that in terms of the gameplay and everything, but the community doesn't. Like, the community will never be what it was in 2005. People play video games differently now. And that alone always makes things different. I find a lot of the changes on this server are either just because, you know, people have lives now, but also to kind of give the feeling, that classic feeling, but a little less stressful. And I like that. Alright, all these bats are way too low level. I'll take the level 2 ones. If I can charm. There we go. But yeah, I've played on a couple private servers. Funny enough, the live servers, you know, retail, it literally just doesn't work for me. Like, I couldn't play retail if I wanted to. I tried, and something about the launcher, it just does not work on my machine at all. I don't know why. But from everything I've seen of current retail Final Fantasy XI, oh boy, the raiders come. I don't think, from what I've seen, I don't think I would enjoy modern Final Fantasy XI. It's not, I don't think it's quite my thing. But the old school experience, or at least a close enough facsimile, that's what I like. I'm all about that. But hey there, ahoy raiders. The old Final Fantasy dude. Oh. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. I'm already getting hungry for some lunch. It's after 1:30 here, so I am getting quite hungry. But we're gonna go at least a little while longer. I'm just grinding here. I'm just grinding my level 12 warrior here because I'd like to use it as a sub job. I would eventually like to level paladin up, and I think warrior is that's kind of the default sub for that, I think. But also, after taking such a break from Final Fantasy XI, I didn't want to just jump back into, like, I don't know, my level 70 black mage, right? I feel like that would be a little rough, right? And probably result in lots of lost EXP. So I figured this is the way to go. You know, ease in. Yeah, I mean, I've been going for a while now. I'm trying to think, like, oh god, when I started around 10:30 my time, and yeah, it's like after 1:30 now, so I've been going a while. Answer is I need to start a little earlier, but yeah, too late now. Oh, speaking of too late now, oh boy, oh man, I attacked this Weaver the moment the Blade Bat aggroed me, but, well, the answer is kill harder. That's the answer. Use that TP. There we go, okay, one problem solved. But yeah, I figure I'm at least gonna go, unless the wife comes home early and then she'll also want lunch, so then it'll be lunchtime. But if not, then I'll probably go at least a half hour. At least a half hour longer. I'm enjoying my grind. I came out to the ruins to do a quest, a mission specifically, the first Windurst Nation mission. That is the reason I came here. However, I quickly got distracted by all of the fat XP in these ruins. It's actually really good EXP in here. Money too. Oh look, I hit fight. I hit the fight button and it didn't work. Uh-oh, I think we might be in trouble. I think it might be runtime. The problem is I'm paralyzed, so like I told my pet to fight and it didn't fight. It just stood there. Okay, maybe I can make this work, right? Maybe I can make it work. If I kill this one, weapon skill the next one. We can do this. We can pull it off. Alright, and then weapon skill. Alright, no fear! No fear! Oh, okay, a little fear. I'm close to the zone edge, but like, yeah, no, we got this. We can do it. Warrior strong! Alright, but now I'll rest because, yeah, God, paralysis. It'll eat your weapon skills, it'll eat your items if you're not careful. I don't know. I'm just using like, you know, the standard stuff in the Horizon launcher. I am using like their textures and everything. I like their textures and music. When it comes to the music, like some of the original tracks I like better. Some of the their remaster tracks I like better. It's a mixed bag. It's like whichever way I go for music, there'll be some I like, some I don't like, so I stick with the remastered. But for visuals, I like all of their extra visuals. I like it. It's just right. Like it feels it feels, you know, less blurry, less muddy, feels more modern, but at the same time it doesn't feel too modern. It doesn't feel it's not like Daggerfall Unity using certain texture packs to give a really, you know, to give an off reference there. It's not so modern it feels out of place. Which anyone who's played Daggerfall with Unity and all the many mods and additions to the game people have made, you know what I mean when I say things can be too modern that they take you out of the game. Well, with the textures here, when you're in the launcher, like in the launcher, there's just that whole section of the launcher that's like add-ons and plugins and all of that. You just tick it on. You just push OK and it applies it. It's so easy, even I can do it. I mean, no, look, I play a lot of old games, so I know how to, you know, dig around in them folders, right? But if I don't have to, I'd prefer not to. And yeah, Horizon is all just plug and play. I like that. Oh man, also, oh god, on the music and stuff, Zeta. The new Zeta, or I guess it's Lita lore, right? That's the actual zone. I don't know. The old track is better for that one. The old track is better. I don't hate the new track, but I think the old one's better for that. You know, the original. Same goes for Altepa. I think they went way too hard with the xylophone for Altepa for the soundtrack. The original's better on that. However, I like pretty much all of the other zones' music better than the original. And oh my god, the jungles. You know, Yatunga and Yotor, I really like the new soundtrack for that. It feels fucking Donkey Kong, and I love that. I mean, maybe that's not the original intention, but like, I like it. playing FF11, it kind of takes me back to older games in general, and if you make me think Donkey Kong while I'm running around in a jungle, you won. You did it. I'm happy. But yeah, I think mainly the big thing is, I like that they added music to the zones that didn't have music at all before, and there's a lot of them. Like, there's a lot of zones in this game that they just never had music for, and that always bothered me. Like, I mean, it really bothered me. I like having music in my zones. Funny enough, if I'm not streaming, I'm usually muting the game and I have other things I'm listening to or whatever, but like, if I'm playing the game and I'm listening to the overall sound and everything, I want to hear the music. I want to, you know, I want to get into it, and the music helps to establish a vibe, right? And if it's just dead silence, like not even any atmospheric stuff, that's hard. I can't get into that. I mean, it still kind of baffles me that apparently even, like, to this day, yeah, in retail FF11, there's just no music for these zones, and I find that crazy. You would think they would have gone back and done something with it at some point, but then again, you'd think they'd go back and do a lot of things, but they don't. And then there's basic features that there's a lot of basic features that I find critical to my enjoyment of this game on Horizon, and they're just not, like, they're still not an integrated thing in any form in Final Fantasy XI. Like, that bizarre slash, you know, market search on the Horizon website, that is critical. Like, I need that. Like, I can't make use of the bizarre feature of this game without some kind of listing for it. Like, I need that. And also, I do like that they have kind of like, you know, you can search up, like, you can search characters online and all that, and, you know, it got a very, Lodestone-esque thing going on there, which I don't know if they ever did anything with that, like in FF11. At least when I played it back in the day, there was no such feature. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I will admit, I don't know. I don't know that I trust Square Enix enough to make, like, a classic 75 server and not fuck it up. I hate to say that too, because I used to like my Squaresoft, and then, you know, Square Enix even, still some good games, but these days I don't really trust them to not fuck it up. And I hate to say that. But it's also a little more than that. Like, it's kind of a similar thing. I don't have any, like, World of Warcraft nostalgia to bring that up, but, like, I love playing on Turtle WoW, which is kind of a weird, custom, classic, vanilla thing, but going in their own direction. I like these projects because they're not just the classic game. Like, that's actually what I like about Horizon. Like, look, I played Final Fantasy XI back in the day. Yeah, I didn't do everything. You know, a lot of what I'm doing here is things I wished I'd done back in the day. But all the same, I don't, like, when you really think about it, like, sit down and think about it, I don't really think I want, like, old school Final Fantasy XI exactly like it was back in the day, because it had problems. Like, there were problems. There's a reason why the game changed in the directions that it did. You can't deny there were issues there, and especially nowadays, I can only imagine, even if it was official, there would still probably be a very small population. Like, imagine playing on an even lower population server than this, and no custom anything, and it's just like old school FF11 with no convenience at all, and like, oh god, that would not be fun. And I know because I've played that on private servers. I've been on private servers that do just that, and it's not great. You want it to be great, but it's the problem is not the game, it's the players and how you play the game, and that's not changing without a time machine. So like, I wouldn't even really want a purely classic 75 server. I'd want something kind of like this, where you're taking that classic 75, but then you're doing something with it. You're taking it in a different direction. You're, you know, patching up the holes and kind of building on it, you know? That's kind of what I want, I think. It's just one of those things, like, I have a really good example, which I've also played on the stream, Star Wars Galaxies, right? I love the original form of Star Wars Galaxies. I hate Star Wars, okay? But like, the game is really good. It was a great sandbox MMO. But that original form of the game, if you go back and try to play it on like a private server now, and you try to play it like the way that it was, it is not the same experience at all. And it's not the game. The game hasn't changed. It's us. It's how we play video games that has just changed. Like, in such a fundamental way that it actually breaks the game. So like, going back and playing that original form of the game, it's not fun at all. It really isn't. And I think, honestly, I don't think FF11 would have that bad of a problem. I think there'd still be fun to be had. But I think going a slightly custom route is the way to do it. Huh. I mean, I'd have to take another look in the launcher, but like, I mean, like how my game looks, that is... I have not done anything to it. It's all just with the Horizon launcher. And I think for me it was all toggled on by default too. I think. I mean, maybe the issue is resolution. Like, I know that when the game first launches, and whenever you make a new character too, the game starts in a weird resolution and everything, and you kind of have to play around with some settings till you get it to look right. Which I'm still not sure this is 100% right, resolution-wise, but this is what I go with. But anyway, I guess, I don't know, my final thought on it is just, I think with a lot of old games, like old MMOs specifically, old single-player games, I mean, they never change, and you can play those games however you want to play them. You can put limits on yourself to make it fun like it used to be. But when it comes to MMOs, it's, a lot of people want that classic old school thing they remember. And the thing is, you can make the game itself be more or less what it was back in the day. But you can't roll the clock back on the players, right? Like, half the fun of Final Fantasy XI back in the day was that nobody knew anything, right? Like, no one knew a damn thing. We were all just flying by the seat of our pants, no wikis or nothing. Like, people were just playing the game and having fun with it. And they were just, you know, they were just enjoying their time, and also enjoying the novelty of playing a game with other people on the internet, which was still a novelty at the time. But yeah, like, that experience, you can't really get that again. Like, the cat's out of the bag on that one, you know? Like, even if you recreated the game perfectly, unless you brain wiped us, like, we couldn't go into it clean. We couldn't go in with no wikis, right? Like even if you're, like, you can be a new player to FF11 and play now, but you'll just go to the wiki, right? Like, the clock can't be rolled back on that kind of thing. So, while I think we all want that feeling, we want the memories, you know, we want to relive those memories, with MMOs, it's not just about the game, it's about the community, and it's about how we, the players, interact with the game. And it's also even just about how we use the internet and all that. Like, there's so many factors that come together with a game like this. and only one part of it is the actual game itself. So I get it, but I don't think just pure classic is ever quite the way to go. I don't think. Again, maybe that's a hot take, I don't know. But that's, like, playing FF11 and I've played many other MMOs from my childhood over the years on private servers, and I've gotten a good sampling of what exactly you can do with something like that. And I just kind of, that's the conclusion I've come to, is that pure classic is what you think you want, but you don't really. I mean, completely custom, just do whatever, that's also not ideal. You don't want that either. But the answer is somewhere in between. Alright, finally, some bats that'll at least give you XP, which I'm gonna charm and use those to fight with. But I think, you know, when you get past that whole thing, there's a lot of value in just these kind of community projects. Whether it's an MMO or like just an old game in general that's being revitalized with like a strong mod community or whatever. I find a lot of value in just kind of participating in these, like, this is a community project, basically, right? Like, developers and players alike, we all come together to make this fucking work, and it develops in a way that aligns with what that community wants, and I think there's a lot of value in that. Like, I think there's more value in that than if if big Square Enix came along, you know, just slapped down a classic FF11 server onto your plate, right? I don't think I'd quite get as much out of that as something like this. And I'm not saying this is perfect or anything like that, but I'm just saying, I guess for what I want out of these kinds of games, this is the ideal form for me. And that's just a conclusion I've come to messing around with so many private servers for so many games over the years. Alright, here we go. Jumping in the middle of the goblins again. Not all of them. I didn't get all of them on me this time. Okay, maybe I got all of them. We'll see. But hey, level 13, nice. I came here with the intention of doing a mission, but yeah, I think that's long gone now. But I think level 13, since I didn't want to go like way longer, I think level 13 is a good place to end my grind. Let's see if I can find the mission NPC. I don't think I'm in the correct place for that. I mean, I don't know where to go, but I feel like this isn't it. Like wherever it is, I don't think this is it. So I'm gonna go to the easternmost entrance to the ruins, and I don't know. I hope that's the right one. I hope. But hey, I'm level 13 now, so when I started I was level 10 warrior. So now I'm just that little bit stronger. Hopefully I won't get randomly aggroed just running around outside. We'll see. Which I know I could have just, I could have hopped on my 75 Beastmaster and just steamrolled, right? But like, that's no fun. That's no fun at all. Also, oh boy, look, seeing that in the distance, it's making me realize something. I need to remember how to up my draw distance, because I usually have that set higher. That makes the game so much nicer. Sometimes, some areas were really not meant to be viewed at a long distance. But most areas look better. So, hold up, let me see. Let me see if I remember how to do this. It's an add-on thing. It's like draw distance. Draw distance, set world, like, I don't know, 3. I think this is the command? That's it, oh yeah. I think I could change that around and get more distance or less distance. The thing is, Final Fantasy XI was not meant to be, like, it was never meant to have a super long render distance. It's a PlayStation 2 game. So yeah, you can kind of see how, like, there's a little bit of through the world going on over there. The game wasn't meant to load stuff that far away. For some zones, it's okay, and it looks alright. Other zones, that was not, you were never meant to see that. So, I think 2. 2 is a good draw distance. It gives me more of the background. It doesn't give me everything, but it also, there's less holes in the world, because you're not rendering way further than the game is supposed to. But yeah, the draw distance add-on, which, again, it's just in the launcher, at least set it up to 2. Makes things look a lot nicer. It's nice to get a bit of a scope and scale for the areas that you're in. Like, I feel like the the default draw distance is okay, but it is a little bit tight. It's it doesn't really let you it doesn't let you get a good feel for the scope of the world that you're in. And some areas, they can feel smaller than they actually are because you can barely see anything past a certain distance. So like in this zone, for instance, it's nice to be able to see like the mountains in the distance and to really see the terrain just stretching on and on. That feels good. But if you make that too high, then you're rendering mountains behind mountains that were not meant to be visible. And that's when it gets a little weird. There's a couple instances like that in the game. Like in Zeta, the forest zone, right? Those massive trees, you were never meant to see the tops of those trees because there's nothing there. Like there is nothing at the top of those trees. It was never meant to be something you could actually look at. So when your draw distance is good enough to see that, oh, it looks bad. Also, hey, look, random guy out here. Maybe fishing. Which, I gotta get back into fishing in this game. I love fishing in this game. I gotta say, Windurst, honestly, the areas look nice, right? Like, I like these little rivers. They look good. I like that you can actually walk in them, too. Windurst, honestly, the areas around Windurst, they look pretty nice. It's a nice starting area. I'm not a fan of Windurst as a nation, but like, yeah, I can't agree with these Tarus, alright? I can't condone that. But, their starting zones are pretty nice. They are nice, I like them. But, I still think either Sandoria or Bastok, I prefer them more. And I think Bastok has the absolute best Happy Town music ever. Like, that is some Happy Town in an RPG music right there, and it makes me comfy every time I hear it. Alright, so I think this is where they want me to go. They said to go to the eastern tower, go into the ruins. I assume you can't go any further east than this, so I assume this is it. Do they have anything for me? Ah, here we go. The Minister of the Oristary is in the laboratory beneath here. To get there, you should check the walls very carefully. Okay, so I might have to do a little searching in there. Okay. Alright. Yeah, again, stream won't go too much longer, so I'll probably be getting out of here to make my own food, too. Not too long from now. But, glad you had some fun, and hope you have more fun with Horizon. Alright, so they said, oh, check the walls in here. So I wonder, it'll either be on the map or not, but I assume there'll be like a wall that I can interact with, right? We'll see. Maybe I should rest my health up. It can't hurt. Can't hurt to have full health. you never know when the game will surprise you. But I feel like at level 13, this is the very first mission for Windurst. I feel like they wouldn't hardball you on something like that. I wouldn't think. At least Sandoria and Bastok, they don't do that. They take it pretty easy on you all the way up until you gotta fight a fucking dragon. And hey there. I'm doing the very first mission for Windurst. Gotta find the minister in the ruins. I'm starting back again with Windurst. I maxed out Sandoria, so now I gotta go for that Akaton, right? Which I think the adding like a Juno Akaton for completing all the nations, I like that. Because really, the thing is, it's completely superfluous, no one needs it. But it's a fun goal to shoot for, right? And I like that it's there, and it's an incentive to go back and do the other nations. I like that. Because I'll admit, I wouldn't, without that, I would not have, I would not have switched out of Sandoria. I hit rank 10, and that was a struggle, so the idea of doing that 2 more times is rough, but I'm here for it. Alright, so let's see. They said check the walls carefully. Now, I don't know. I feel like probably it'll still be on the map wherever they want me to go. We'll see. And I know the answer is look at a wiki, but I look at wikis as we get deeper into the missions and quests and stuff, but I feel like the very first mission should be self-explanatory enough that I'm not at risk of just stumbling around in confusion for hours on the very first mission. This is what new players are supposed to do, right? So come on, we're not that dumb. Let's try and use the brain. Alright, so okay, we're in the big open chamber. It says 4 side chambers. Could be something in the middle. But I guess let's look around the outsides. They said thoroughly inspect that wall. It's an ancient magic gizmo there, but that's not the wall, is it? So I still have no idea what these ancient magic gizmos do. They're all over the place, but what even are they? Yeah, see, you poke them and they just sort of hover for a second, but what does that mean? I don't understand. Alright, well, they said to, like, check the wall thoroughly. Yeah, so the thing is, like, the first mission for, like, Sandoria, for Bastok, again, like, the missions, I've only ever done those. I've never touched Windurst. But for Bastok and Sandoria, like, it doesn't get confusing or complicated in terms of directions and what to do. It doesn't even begin to get, like, to be something you'd need to go to a wiki for until you're, yeah, like, until you're kind of at or past the dragon fight, and that's more about, you know, teamwork than anything. So maybe Windurst will surprise me here. We'll see. Oh, here we go. There's a cracked wall. I wasn't sure what I'm doing here exactly, but alright. We got a cracked wall. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I find that the earlier quests and missions are okay. Like when you're just kind of bopping around the starter towns, I find most of the missions and quests are not too hard. Like with a little searching, maybe you can figure out what to do. But yeah, like the Promathia stuff, the Zalart stuff, like even just deeper into the Nation missions, I found that a lot of that stuff is so convoluted, and where you're supposed to go or why is so badly explained or just not explained that I have to use a wiki. I can't navigate without a wiki. I will admit that's one part of the game I don't enjoy so much. I don't need quest markers, I don't need everything to be spelled out for me, but I do feel like the game is particularly bad at even really giving you a good idea of what you are supposed to be doing right now. It's very bad at that. Let's see, is any of this gonna attack me? Like, not everything will be hostile. That goblin will be hostile. Yeah, let's deal with that. Oh yeah, oh god, right. Well, actually, that makes me think not just of the Mithra, with the name that starts with an M, but the whole Limit Break 4. I think it's the fourth one, right? It's the one where you have to, like, you get told just a bunch of descriptions of NPCs, right? Like, it's just a vague description of the behavior of certain NPCs. Like, not even a visual, but just a behavior. And it's like, unless you have done every quest in the game and you personally have talked to every NPC in the game, like, there is no goddamn way you will have any idea where to begin. Like, they don't even, I think they don't even, like, give you an idea of what town they might be in, right? It's basically just somewhere in the world, I don't know, there's a tall elf crying or whatever, right? And it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Oh, I think I've stumbled into progress, maybe. Yeah, I think the most they give you is a race, but like, come on, man, come on. Okay, so I think I've stumbled into the mission here. So let's see. All right. But everyone else says the same thing, brother. Why, oh why, won't you listen to what I'm trying to tell you? Oh, do we have a drama happening here? At long last, we've achieved peace. Why risk destroying it? Behind your backy wacky... I love how they have these dramatic moments, but then they have to ruin it with the Taru speak. So behind your backy wacky, some people say that you're setting out to start a war. What's more, you know that this laboratory in the Horutoto ruins is off limits. What Taru do they know? It's time to commit war crimes. Taru war crimes. That's kind of like when I was doing Black Mage and I was doing a lot of Windurst quests. That's kind of what it felt like. Alright, so you, Aparuru, my own Sistaru, Kantaru, you see the truth behind all this. Shouldn't you put Taru on the end of that? I don't know. Why do you think they all fear war, but won't lift a finger to do anything about it? They all say that Windurst has peace and security, but do you really think our country has peace? The wounds the Oristary received from the war haven't healed, even after 20-odd years. The best of the warlock mages are dying off, unable to train new, younger replacement Tarus. Just imagine what would happen if war broke out again. Windurst would be obliterated in an instant, Taru. That's why we need some grand new magic. I feel like he's about to go into a problematic monologue, but I'm on board. But what about the Star Sibyl? Yes, and what about her? What was the reason she forbade the very magic I seek? If they could have controlled that magic properly, then we wouldn't have had to buddy-wuddy with the Beastmen in the first place. Sure, the Spellweaver died, but the magic itself was a great success. Only you, my dear brother, would call such a great tragedy a success. The mastermind of the Millennium met such a tragic fate, so what chance would a faker-waker genius like you stand? Ajito Marujito. Say whatever you, or what taru you like. A genius is never accepted by the world in his own time. If you've just come here to whinge and whine, then off with you. Go on, get taru. Well, I've tried my hardest to convince you. Now I don't care what happens to you anymore, brother. Oh, the drama. Don't come crying to me. If you get yourself killed, you should put a taru on the end of that. Would have softened it. And then I just stumble along. I've said it before, but I kind of love this about cutscenes in Final Fantasy XI, where they never make you feel like the hero. And I kind of like that. I like that I'm just some rando adventurer. I'm here to get paid, and I just stumble into weird drama and shenanigans. I kind of like that. I honestly don't want to be the main character, right? I want to be an adventurer. Alright, let's see. Who's that over there? I do like his little outfit, though. I feel like that, but in a normal human size, would be a cool robe. What's that, Taru, you say? A wannabe newbie adventurer, huh? I slayed the Shadow Lord. So, you're the one they sent to help me with my experiment. Well, you're too latey-waity. The experiment is over. The gizmo just broke down again. And then my pesky little sisteru wandered on in just to add insult to injury. Well, I've had enough for one day. I'm headed home. Seeing as you've come all this way, I'd hate for you to go home empty-handed, so here's a little job for you. On your way here, you probably noticed the glowing receptacle gizmos here and there. Didn't Taru you? Oh yeah, those things. Well, inside each of them, there's a magical ball called a mana orb. I think one of those mana orbs was broken when my experiment failed just now. Your job is to find the broken sphere and take it back to the Oristary. Oh, and one more thing. Don't go blabbing about what you just heard here, all right, Taru? So that's what they're for. That's what they're for. Okay. Okay. Alright, well then I guess, Oh, wait, is it... So I wonder, is it just gonna be like... So let me guess, there's a bunch of them and they're all over the place. So one of them is gonna be the right one, right? Like, I'm guessing that only one is gonna be the correct one, and it's probably gonna take me to a different ruin, or oh fun. Alright, I think I'm going the wrong way. Yep. There's no map here, like, of this particular section, so... Okay, back to the middle, and then north, and then... Well, I guess what? I check all of the receptacles, I guess, and I'm looking for the one that, I guess, doesn't glow and float. I think I went, like, this way to get there, right? I think I hit each one on the way here, but I'm not 100%. I'll check them all. I'll check all of them, and then if none of these are it, then I'm guessing it's gonna send me all over the goddamn place to find the right one. Oh, goblin. I don't actually mind the tedious bullshit quests of Final Fantasy XI. I actually like them. It's just I kind of wish they were telegraphed a little better. That's all. Oh, is this it? Did I get it first try? I got a cracked mana orb. So that's what I'm here for, right? I think. Yeah, find the broken sphere, take it back to the Oristary. Okay. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. I thought we'd have to go through a whole thing of, like, you know, hitting each one to find the right one, and that would waste so much time. But I guess we lucked out there. Alright, so I can walk back. I guess I could death warp back, but I don't have quite enough experience to not lose level 13 if I do that. And I'd rather not lose level 13. I'd like to hold on to my level. And maybe get a little more EXP too, so that I don't de-level when I die. Although wait, actually, hold up. I do have stuff, right? I have an instant warp scroll. I think I actually bought that back in, you know, when I was still Sandorian. But I have that, and I think I also have I think I have some holiday, the bat staff, the treat staff. That's a teleport item. I could use that. But I just noticed I don't have, I'm one wind crystal shy of a full stack. But I couldn't get it now anyway because I don't have Signet anymore. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, my bat's turning on me. Yeah, it's okay. I gotta use that TP anyway. Okay. So, let's see. In my equipment. So you have to actually... Pretty sure you have to actually wear the treat staff in order to use it. So, treat staff 2. Alright, and then I gotta give it a couple seconds. Gotta let it heat up. But then I can use the staff, and that'll get me back to town nice and quick. It's a once-a-day thing, but I think this is a good use of it. I'm lazy and don't want to walk back to the Oristary. And my home point is right next to it. Alright, I do have a macro. Yeah, I have a treat staff macro. Just have to wait till it's ready. Should be. Alright, here we go. Man, that thing teleports so quick. Alright. So yeah, I hope I got what I needed. I hope. Let's see, right, the gear I'm using on my warrior right now, it is not in my wardrobe, it's just in my inventory. Alright, so yeah, the Oristary, it's just right here. So, I got your cracked orb. I wonder... do I just give it to... I think this guy is who I started all this from? Is he the guy? Oh. Also, a cat just jumped on desk. Oh no, she's bumping the microphone. Eee. Oh no, she is demanding attention. Just stretching out across my keyboard. Alright, a quick cat break here. I don't think she'll let me proceed. Okay. She's gone. Alright, so let's see, the minister. Okay, the minister came back. Okay. Wait, he came back, but he's straight out the door again. Oh, that's the no-go mana orb. Okay, so the minister's not here. He's not here. Let's see, so you were the one the minister was mumbling about when he Huffa-Puffingly ran in and out of here. He told us to take the hunk of junk cracked mana orb off of you. Thanks for your humdrum help today. We look forward to having you help us again during our next Mayday. Okay, so I didn't have to use a wiki. I wonder if, I wonder if just any old orb would do. Or if I got incredibly lucky by picking the right orb on my first try. I wonder. It's best that I don't know. I got it done. I got it done, and we move on to the next one. Yay. So let's see. I guess it's back to the gate guard. Although I can do that next time. Actually, I can hit up that old gate guard the next time around. But for now, I guess I hit level 13, which is I think that's pretty safely in Valkurm Dune's level range. I need to get some proper equipment. I guess I want to start partying a little bit. And I figure in a Valkurm Dunes group, I would probably be enlisted as the tank, I would assume. Although Warrior does hit pretty hard, so I mean, it's versatile. But we'll save that. We'll save that for the next time around. For now, I think, I got my grind in, I got mission number 1 done. I'm settling into Windurst. And also, I'm just really hungry now. Oh god, I'm hungry. So hungry! Oh. Also, these two right here, they've been standing here since I started. Like, I think since I started the stream, they've just been hanging out here. But anyway. Oh look, somebody needs help with a Summoner Prime fight. Technically, hey, if I hopped over to Beastmaster, I soloed all the primes except for, you know, Fenrir. That one's a group fight, but like all the normal Avatar primes, yeah, I can solo them. It's not even a challenge. So technically, I could help someone out with that. It's just timing. I love helping people in this game, but like I am hungry right now. I need food right now. If they still need help after, maybe, but... So, alright. A little bit of a meandering day, but I do feel like we're kicking off and getting back into a stride with the game. I will eventually go back to, like, leveling my Black Mage, though I do want to get Warrior up to 37, because I'd like to use it as a sub-job for Paladin, which I'd like to level that up as my proper tank. And I think Warrior is just one of those sub-jobs that every now and then you might want to use it for a couple of reasons on a lot of classes. Like I think a lot of the melee classes you can make a tank out of them as long as you gear it right and you have provoke. Like if you have to, right? I've personally witnessed samurais tanking, Dark Knights tanking. Like I think anyone, like as long as you're geared for it and prepared for it, I think you can turn anything into a decent tank with Slash Warrior. Well, maybe not anything, but a lot of like the melee classes you can turn them into a makeshift tank if you have to. So I think, and even just for like, I don't know, specific missions or things like that, it might pay off to be able to provoke and, you know, to have things leveled up properly. And also, Warrior gets double attack, right? So I do wonder, if I were ever to level up Thief beyond, you know, beyond like sort of a sub-job level, I wonder if Thief / Warrior, you'd have like a chance to triple hit and then a chance to double hit too, right? That could get really interesting. But I think the go-to for Thief is just a ninja, right? Because then you're double hitting all the time. But your delay, you're doing it slower. Anyway. For today, I think that's good. I really should try and hop on more, just you know, just whenever, just play more. I need to, but currently you know, hanging around with the wife with ESO is kind of, it's time consuming, and also I do enjoy that game as well. It's hard to split focus like that. And then there's non-MMO, just normal games and other things I like to do. But I will try to get more into FF11 again. I like it. It's always a comfy, fun time. You know, it feels like coming home when you pop into Final Fantasy XI. And I can still just fish the day away in this thing. It's just weirdly relaxing. Oh right, I need 10,000 mote carp. Well, I think with that terrifying thought on my mind, I think that's a good place to leave it. So let's tab on out. I hope everyone had a good time today. I'll try to do some more this week. Again, I can't promise to solid. I'm gonna have to just delete the schedule. Can't depend on it right now. But I will try to get some more stuff in during the week, and for the weekend, as usual, we do our assorted miscellaneous games and whatever I feel like on the weekend. But for the weekdays, that'll pretty much always be ancient MMO stuff, like either this, or I mean, for a while I was checking out Star Wars Galaxy's private servers. Kinda done with that for the moment, but we might come back to it at some point. I don't know, Turtle WoW. I was liking Turtle WoW. That was an interesting server. Might check that out again sometime. But during the weekdays, the classic old school MMOs and private servers, that's always going to be on the menu. Alright, so till next time. I'm gonna get out of here and make me some noodles. I think all we really have at the moment is spicy noodles to eat, so that's gonna be my lunch. And then because it's spicy, it'll just kill me. So I need to rest after that. Alright. Well, see you all next time. Later.